With the voice of the Buckeyes, Mr. Jeff Rash, who joins us here in a beautiful new press box. We want to say a special thanks to Coach Mike Maddox, the athletic director here in Lindale, Texas, and he's really rolled out the red carpet for us. Jeff, I said one thing that I'm not sure what the scoreboard's going to be, but I guarantee you that my scale tomorrow morning will be a plus 5 pounds because we got here early to set up, and we've done nothing but eat since we've gotten here. It's going to be a great night.
Well, I hate to be a stickler here, Todd, but you've done nothing but eat since we got here. If my wife's listening back home, I had like a little small hamburger. That was all. And maybe a Twix, little small Twix.
I've sent my wife pictures of everything that I have devoured already. And,
yeah, I walked in here and it smelled like the yamber. It smelled like a yamboree in here when I walked in a while ago. So you really have had a good time so far before the game has even begun. But let's go ahead and start talking about some game stuff. Let's talk football tonight because it is Friday night in East Texas, and that means that we are first round of the playoffs. Very exciting time. Gilmer has a great tradition of winning those first round. Their last loss, in fact, in a first round playoff game was a very painful loss against LE back in 2005. We all remember that game. But other than that, great winning percentage as far as number of playoff games that we've had, especially in the first round. And Gilmer comes into this game ranked third in the state, 4A Division II. And Coach Metzel in his first year, who we're very proud of, and had lunch with earlier today and got to visit with about tonight's game, has got a 9-1 season so far. So we're extremely proud of that. His only loss, of course, coming
to the
at the hands of number one ranked
Carthage Bulldogs. And Jeff, more importantly, district champions now for the first time in 4 years as we finally get that monkey off our back and take out the Pleasant Grove Hawks, who we will likely see again later on this year. But for now, that Hawks name is back up on the black flag as the Buckeyes come on the field. And Jeff, they're fired up to take on this Canton Eagle team here in by district. They come into tonight's contest 3-6. Mm-hmm. They are fourth in their district. And we expect the Buckeyes to come out tonight and really kind of let things hang out. That starts with quarterback Brandon Tennyson and all those weapons that he's got. And as you see the Buckeyes on the field, they're excited about trophy time.
And let's talk about that. Gilmer has picked a 33-point favorite tonight. They've averaged 56 points the last 4 or 5 times that they've played against the Canton Eagles. One game was like one of the high-scoring games in the state of Texas, and the Eagles ended up winning like 62-58 at the last minute. One of the best games I've ever seen back in 2006. But probably not going to be the case here tonight. Gilmer is picked 33-point favorites over the Canton Eagles tonight, and so it should be kind of a one-sided game tonight. But this is the reason we play the game, because you never know. Gilmer's this is amazing, but this is our 40th appearance in the playoffs out of the, and this year was a big year having the 700 wins coming a couple of games ago. But here's what's cool. Out of 40 years in the playoffs, this is Gilmer's 20th consecutive year in the playoff, and that really says something about where this program has come over the last 20 years or so under 3 great head coaches. And this is our 114th playoff game in school history out of those 700 wins. So pretty phenomenal stats overall.
Yeah, we want to thank the Joe Dodd, who is just the guru around here with our historical stats, as the Buckeyes win the toss and defer. As we see Dylan Fluell and the captain down there for tonight's game.
Who had an outstanding game
last week. Well, look out for him tonight, too, because he's just a few catches away from going into the record books. And, Jeff, as we kind of get...
He's actually ranked number 12th right now in total touchdown catches for the season.
Well, he may be higher than that by
tonight. He may move up to like 10 or 9. So you talked about weapons earlier that Brandon Tennyson's had to throw. I thought it was interesting. Joe put together some statistics, and it was pretty phenomenal that, to me, that Brandon has had 9 different running backs, somebody on the ground rushes this year. 9 different kids have scored touchdowns, and 8 different receivers have scored touchdowns. So it's just a plethora of weapons across the field. It's been amazing.
It's an embarrassment of riches at the skill position for sure. And the scary part is, Jeff, even last week when the victory against Pleasant Grove, the Buckeyes still have yet to really put together 4 full quarters of their best football. Now you can say they started out well back against Pittsburgh and just set up like a house of fire. came out. They deferred that game, 3-and-out, score. Next thing you know, we're running the clock in the second half. But didn't have an opportunity to play 4 quarters. But really, when you look at things and the way that they set up here in the playoffs, Jeff, this team has everything they need to go get a ring. Now, that's saying something here in Gilmer, but when you consider the last 5 seasons consecutively, the Buckeyes, even though they weren't district champions, played all the way into the quarterfinals. That's 2 games away from a state championship. Very likely, the Buckeyes will be favored all the way to the quarterfinals again this year, where we will then likely see again the Pleasant Grove Hawks. And we've beaten them. So we know now we can beat Pleasant Grove. 2 games after that, you're in Jerry's world, most likely against the #1 ranked Carthage Bulldogs, which the Buckeyes saw.
I would bet Eric's house on that again.
Well, and let me tell you something, Jeff. The Buckeyes did not play 4 quarters against Carthage and were absolutely in the game. And came back and won 2 quarters of that game. Other than being down 28-0 at halftime, and of course the first drive literally ate the entire first quarter as Carthage marched down the field so methodically. That was only their 2nd game of the season. And that's not where we're going to be in December. Everything here can happen. I mean, there's so much stuff happening.
Well, the story this year, Todd, has been that we've been a real second-half team. I mean, we've gone in. They're masters of going in and making corrections and adjustments. You saw it last week against PG. You saw it against Lindale, the stadium that we're in tonight when they came to Gilmer. You've seen it against Gladewater. You've seen it all year long. Them go in, make a few adjustments, make a few tweaks, come back out and just dominate in the third quarter, and then close it out in the 4th quarter. So it's been pretty interesting all year to watch these guys battle and struggle a little bit maybe in the first half in some games, but then overall come out on top. And so it is football time, folks. So if you're at home watching, we are going to provide a little something different for you tonight. If you look in the bottom left-hand corner of your screen, you're going to see we're just going to put a camera on the scoreboard. We only have 1 camera view tonight on the game itself, but we're going to leave the scoreboard up there, and that way you'll not only know score, but you'll also know time. And so that's a new feature for this week. And here's the kickoff, and it is underway. We have officially opened at the 15-yard line. The playoff season and the Buckeyes against the Canton Eagles, and they are going to come out, get a nice run back to about the 30-yard line, and so the offensive unit for the Canton Eagles will start 1st and 10 on their own 31-yard line.
Ashton Haynes, a sophomore running back, and he is talented as an outside linebacker, makes the tackle on that kickoff. And Jeff, as we say, once again, for all you Buckeye fans just tuning in, listening to E-Tex, wondering where the feed is, go to nfhsnetwork.com, register yourself and subscribe, and you can watch the Buckeyes play live. For now, it's the voice of the Buckeyes, Jeff Rash.
All right, here we go. Handoff, and we've got illegal procedure to start the game. Unfortunately for the Eagles, that's going to back them up 5 yards, so they'll go back from the 31 to the 26. And look tonight for absolute domination. The Buckeyes have 45 sacks so far for the season, and my prediction tonight, Todd, is they may add another 9 or 10 to that incredible record. That big front group up there with Burton and Borda, and I can't see who else is out there right now. They have been dominant all year long. Here's the snap. Handoff up the middle, and Burton is the first one there, but he's joined by about 9 of his best friends. And that'll be a loss of a good yard there for Canton Eagles, and they are starting rough.
2nd and 16 now after the illegal procedure. And, Jeff, I tell you what's nice is look down there and see the guys in white that are wearing the white with the orange trim actually are bigger than the offensive line across from them.
That's a first.
That's a novel concept.
That's a first for this year. So I feel sorry for Canton because we've been the underdog on the offensive line all year long as far as size goes. So Canton Eagles trying to keep the ball on the ground. Not going to get much against this Buckeye black flag defense. Rolls to his right. Got a man open in the flat and is going to pick up about 6 yards on the carry or the pass, and that's going to put them back to the original line of scrimmage and bring up, we're going to say, 3rd and 9.
Devion Smith in on that tackle, Jeff. He's doing a good job on that tight end. Just keeping everything in front of him. Knows that those sticks are still another 9 yards away. And the black flag with 10:50 left to play in this first quarter with an opportunity to get off the field and 3 and out these Canton Eagles and get the ball back in great field position.
All right, opponents only have a 28% of converting 3rd downs on this black flag defense. Let's see if they can do it here, and they're not. There's the first of 9 sacks tonight. That was number 33, the sophomore,
Arona, and he is a beast coming on that blitz, and that's going to be a loss of another 11, and that's going to put Canton way back, punting from inside their own 5. Number 4, that's the dangerous Cody Guidry standing on the 50-yard line. The Canton Eagles have a good kicking game, Jeff. They got great punters and great kickers, but the Buckeyes, nevertheless, inside of 2 minutes, 3 and out the Canton Eagles, and an opportunity to get the ball back, flip the field, great field position, and do what we really expected them to do tonight. And I think we're missing somebody. Or they're missing somebody. Canton's got to call a timeout, so we'll take a quick timeout as well, recognize a few of our sponsors, and come right back after these messages.
Looking for future leaders we can trust and believe in? Look no further than the high school student athletes right here in Texas. High school sports teach young people how to be effective leaders. It begins by making their grades and being on time for practice. It includes learning to listen, following directions, accepting responsibility, being a good role model. And it's about respect for officials, opponents, the rules, and each other. The result? It transcends sports. It gives us hope for the future. High school sports. There's so much more.
All right, here's the snap and the punt on 4th down. And that is going to take not a bad punt. Gets across midfield to the 46, bounces out of bounds. No return for the Buckeyes. And so here comes Brandon Tennyson and the offensive unit. 1st and 10 on their own 46-yard line.
Couldn't ask for a better start, Jeff, for this Buckeye team here in this bi-district competition. They defer. They hold Canton to 3 and out after a big sack by Arona, the sophomore. And here comes number 11 with actually Ward behind him, which is an interesting way to start for the Buckeyes in the pistol formation. 1st and 10 from their own 46.
All right, they're going to hand it to Ward around the right side. They've stacked everybody over that side. Great job there defensively. Looked like a face mask to me, but I don't see any flags. So good job defensively, as the Buckeyes loaded everybody up tight on the right side and handed it off to Ward, who normally picks up. We're averaging this year, by the way, 8.6 yards per play. Not going to get it on that one, as the Buckeyes only settle for 2. And now once again, they're going to throw a little short pass and really get back to the original line of scrimmage. So Canton Eagles kind of feeling good here. I think the Buckeyes might be setting them up for a deep post right here, Todd. It's 3rd and 7.
Yeah, we flooded the zone over here, got BT rolling out, which is always great, keeps his eyes down the field, and obviously so dangerous with his feet. And he takes the check down route there to Jaden Griffin, picks up 2, brings up a manageable 3rd and 6. But, Jeff, this is most likely 4-down territory for the Buckeyes.
All right, Brandon from the shotgun, stepping back, looking to pass. Going to dump one off. Number 12, Mason Hurt will pick up the 1st down. Down the left sideline, he's got one man to beat, and he is knocked out of bounds at around the 14-yard line. Nice job there by the senior Mason Hurt.
That's just what they call a lake screen. That's to the left-hand side. Mason just peels inside. He's executed that play so well this year, and that is a huge pickup. Let's call that about 39 yards down to the 14-yard line. 1st and 10 Buckeyes inside the red zone.
All right, here's the snap. They're going to fake the handoff. BT's going to keep it around the right side. And again, he gets about 4 yards on the carry, but a good job there by the Canton Eagles getting in there and being aggressive.
Yeah, and Jeff, they scraped very well. So they're trying to keep the Buckeyes from getting that edge. And BT had an opportunity there, but he played it safe and just tucked in to take a little 4-yard gain, brings up 2nd down and about 6 from the 11.
Trip receivers to the left side. Drop back, fires one, complete to number 14, Fluellen. And he's going to be stopped around the 2 or 3 yard line. Nice gain there by Fluellen.
That's going to be first and goal.
First and goal. So look for him to hand it off here to Ward, probably up the gut. And that's exactly what they do. And he is fighting his way to the end zone.
Touchdown Buckeyes.
Touchdown Buckeyes.
So just like you draw it up, Jeff, as Ward gets his first touchdown of the night with 8:03 left to play, the Buckeyes 3 and out the Canton Eagles and then storm down the field 54 yards. Strike pay dirt after just 5 plays. Hernandez now in for the extra point. And for the Buckeyes, they certainly start off exactly like they had it scripted, Jeff. 6-0 with the extra point left to come, and we're only 4 minutes into this game.
All right. Hernandez, the guy that ended up winning the game last week for the Buckeyes, gets another one as that extra point is good. And so we'll be right back after these messages to finish up the first quarter.
Because of investments in our surrounding infrastructure, eTex offers advanced improvements in internet connections, service experience, and quality of life for our customers. The driving force for eTex has been to create a state-of-the-art company using both the latest technology and local expert technicians, people you know. And best of all, a certified support team that delivers quality support within hours, not days. eTex, local support from the team you trust.
Growing up as a child in East Texas, I was always taught that I had to outwork my opponent. That same principle has carried over into our law firm. And for over 20 years, we've outworked each and every.
Back to the action here, folks, as the Buckeyes 3-and-out the Canton Eagles and then go 54 yards in 6 plays, capped off with a touchdown by running back number 32, Ward. And the Buckeyes lead 7-0 with 8:03 left to play. Folks, keep trying to log on to NFHS.com or NFHSnetwork.com, and we will see if we can get the Buckeye fans up to watch this live as the kickoff is deep. And he touched that, Jeff, and that is going to be a touchback, and they are going to bring that one out to the 25-yard line where the Buckeye Black Flag defense had so successfully just 3-and-outed Canton. And they went backwards, actually 11 yards, so minus 11 yards so far tonight for the Canton Eagle offense, Jeff, and 1 sack already, to your point, earlier in the game. The Buckeyes averaging about 9 sacks a game, which is just ridiculous, and they've already got 1 here tonight in the first possession.
Well, if they drop back to pass very often in this game tonight, they'll rack up at least 8 to 9 sacks because this defensive line is going to get penetration. Handoff up the middle, nearly breaks it over the left side. Big gain there, about a 9-yard gain. That's going to bring up 2nd and 1 for Canton.
Yeah, caught the Buckeyes in a run blitz, and number 10, Luke Watson, does a fantastic job just reaching out and grabbing the running back. That is for Canton, I think, number 41, and he's a really quick running back, Jeff, and that is for Canton, Chris Cade. He is a senior running back, and he's about 5'9" and 160. Kind of got lost in there, but he runs tough.
2 receivers right, 2 left, 1 back in the backfield. They're going to hand it off around the left side. Fakes the handoff, bootleg around the right. And that ball was intended there in a little out route on the 45 is going to fall incomplete. That'll bring up 3rd and 1.
Targeting number 14, Braden Hawkins on that play. He is kind of their star receiver. He's a 6-footer. And that was a rollout around the right end. He got 1 hand on it, but that really does the Buckeyes a favor. Stops the clock with 7:20 left, and it is probably going to be a lay your ears back and come get the quarterback play. Yeah,
they're fixing to fill every gap right here. You watch the linebackers creeping up. They know that they need 3rd and 1. It's going to be a handoff, and they're going to try to stop it, and they're not going to be able to, as the running back just lowers his head, picks up a good 4 or 5 yards on that carry. And a nice first down by Canton.
First down of the night for the Canton Eagles, as that's got to be encouraging for them, trying to come back from a 3-and-out, and then the Buckeyes storm down the field in 6 plays and score. Put them in a hole early here in this game. You notice, Jeff, that they start playing a lot slower now. They do run a spread offense, but they just don't run it at the same pace that the Buckeyes do. And for now, slowing down the game is probably a great strategy for Canton as they pick up this first down, at least have a little momentum offensively.
All right, here's the snap. Handoff up the middle. Number 10, Watson, the first guy there, as he scrapes down the line and drags down the running back after a gain of 3. That's going to bring up 2nd and 7. And Canton getting a little bit of momentum now, moving the ball down the field.
Yeah, and they're just trying to hit the line very quickly as the Buckeyes have gotten such great penetration on the first series. And now they're getting a little bit going on the running game side, Jeff, as now you see that they go empty man-to-man to keep basically 8 guys in the box, and they're going to try to stop the run right here.
Looks like we may have some offsides. I'm not sure if they were drawn offsides or not. I would have loved to actually let that play develop, because we might have picked that one off. They're throwing a fly route down there to Dylan Fluellen, and I think Dylan, he's so good at going up after the ball. He's so aggressive. But I think that might have been, is that going to be, did he call it? Yeah, is it offsides?
Yeah, I think that's offsides. That was a hard count. Good decision by the Canton Eagles to catch the Buckeyes with all that aggressive kind of attitude coming in up front. Got Burton and Borden both to jump. Brings up second down now and 2.
Okay, handoff up the middle, right over the back of the center, and the defensive line's having nothing to do with it. Look at this. You got Burton down there grabbing a leg and literally pulling him back.
There was no part of that running back touching the ground by the end of the play.
Yeah, he was literally suspended.
Yeah, from being pulled from limb, literally in 2 different directions.
Yeah.
It's going to bring up 3rd and inches just shy of midfield, Jeff, and the Canton Eagles not only successfully kind of navigating field position here, but on the verge of picking up their 2nd first down of this game.
Yeah.
And they only need inches. Let's see if the Buckeyes can get penetration here and come up with a big stop.
Yeah, they're going to be coming hard and fast right here. It's going to be a quarterback sneak. I don't think he got it.
Yeah, I don't think he got it at all.
I think they shut him. I think they knocked him back. He came under center, and you had about, as you would say, Todd, 900 pounds of humanity coming at him. And I don't believe he got the first down there. It's going to bring up 4th and short.
Yeah, that's maybe the nose of the football. If they count that at the 49, they are going to say that is a first down. So that's a great spot. And the second time that Canton Eagles...
it's a generous spot.
It is. And
it's a generous spot.
And I guarantee you the quarterback, that's the consolation prize, because he's feeling it in a lot of different areas after that quarterback sneak, as he kind of paid the price for that one. But nevertheless, 1st and 10 Canton. From their own 49.
All right. Little jump, but we didn't get offsides. Yeah, they did. They threw a flag, and so that's going to be a catch, good for about 8 yards, all the way down to the 42-yard line of the Buckeyes, the 43-yard line, rather.
Yeah, that's 54 on that hard count. That's Braylon Ward, sophomore defensive lineman, who is going to get an earful over there from
Tommy.
Coach Edwards, who is not only the defensive coordinator but the defensive line coach. They'll take that play, which is going to bring them down to 2nd and 4, now into Buckeye territory for the first time tonight from the Buckeye 44-yard line. 4:44 left to play here in this first quarter. 7-0 your Buckeyes lead. And after a couple of first downs, the Canton Eagles have some real momentum here on offense. They started at their 25 and have eaten about 5 minutes off the clock, Jeff, and more importantly, they've kept the chains moving. 2nd down and 3 now from the Buckeye 44.
All right, Buckeyes, quick pitch out to the left side. They are coming hard. And look at this run by number 41, who spins out of 2 would-be tackles with 4 Buckeyes. They're just not able to hold on to him as he spins like a washing machine downfield. Was there flags on the play?
Yeah, flags on the play. That's holding. That's actually a tackle out here. That was made, and that one's going to come back and back them up from 2nd down and 4 to 2nd down and 14 now. But as you say, Jeff, great run there by number 41, who has really carried the load on the ground here for Canton. That's Chris Cade, and that is just unfortunate, as that great run for a first down is going to be called back. 2nd and 14 now backs them up all the way into their own territory. Lindale at their 46-yard line will set up shop, and now they are behind the chains. Once again, Jeff, the Buckeyes are going to go straight man coverage. You see the safety, number 4, Guidry, is rolled all the way up on the left side. The Buckeyes have seen lots of film. They're man up on the outside with Devion Smith and Fluellen. They'll take their chances and defend the run here.
All right, fakes the handoff. Heavy pursuit, going to get dragged down, throws it away. And, boy, that was a dangerous pass. If he kind of lobbed that could have been picked off for a pick six.
There. Jeff, that's got to be a flag for intentional grounding, because there's nobody out there. Yeah, that is intentional grounding. That's going to be a loss of down and a penalty. So give 44 Burton a credit for that sack with intentional grounding. And that is going to back them all the way up, Jeff, inside their own 35-yard line. And that's going to be 3rd and Interstate 20. I mean, it is a long way to go from here as Canton, after a really good drive.
Well, unfortunately, they're back where they started the drive.
Exactly.
I mean, they started on the 25. They're now on the 26. And so they have kind of hurt themselves. It literally is, like you said, 3rd and 30.
Yeah.
And so these guys got a long way to go to get down here. So look for them to go to the air here. They're sending one receiver to the right, 3 to the left, one back in the backfield. They are going to put this ball in the air. So be a good time for a pick by the Buckeyes. They're putting heavy pressure on him. They dump a little short screen pass off to 41, who just turns it on all the way out past the 45-yard line to the 47. What a great run. Going to be shy of the first down, obviously, because they had, 3rd and 30. They're going to be about 12 yards shy, and so it's going to bring up 4th down, and they're going to bring the punt team on.
Yeah, at least they flip the field and get Cody Guidry's going to be standing inside his own 20 now. Matt Burton did a great job, read that, and almost made the play. But as you said, Jeff, 41's a talented little running back. He's quick, he runs hard, he runs fast. On that drive, a couple of first downs before Canton kind of shot themselves in the foot, but they did manage to eat about 6 minutes off the clock.
All right, good punt here. Cody Guidry fumbles the football, but he dives on it. Luckily, he tries to catch it on the run and going to lose a few yards doing so as the ball literally went behind him. And he was able to jump on it. Otherwise, he would have been giving it to the Eagles on the 20-yard line. So lucky move there that he was quick enough to get back on the ball. We've seen that happen a couple of times this year. And so BT and the offensive unit got 80 yards to pay dirt with 3:24 left to play in the first quarter. Let's see what they've got in store for us this series. All right, here's the snap. And a flag right off the bat, probably going to be against Gilmer. That's going to be 5 yards against somebody that moved. And illegal procedure is going to make it 1st and 15 from the 15.
Not exactly how this offensive line wanted to start out, Jeff, especially after that great, pretty much flawless first series. They come out 1st and 10 and jump and just create a 5-yard challenge for themselves that is self-inflicted wound. Let's see if they can overcome it.
All right, here's the snap. BT going deep. A long pass down, fly route, caught. Number 14 will take it all the way to the house. 85-yard touchdown, Dylan Fluellen, and you'll see that several times tonight.
Well, Dylan makes one step closer in the record books as he climbs the rung. That is just a beautiful pass by Brandon Tennyson. BT drops it on him. He runs right by his man.
And did you see how he caught that ball?
Yeah, he did. He high pointed it because he's been in that situation where he's tried to catch it on the run and somebody comes out of his peripheral. But he has a 6-yard lead, and once he catches it, he secures it. And it does not matter. And that 5-yard penalty, Jeff, just added to the BT stat list. 85-yard touchdown here. That took all of 6 seconds. And the extra point left to come.
Yeah, and the extra point is good. That was Brandon's 27th touchdown pass of the season. And keep in mind, that's in this will be the 11th game. The top record in the books is actually 45. So he's got a little ways to go, but he's got a few games ahead of him to get it done. He'll get some of that work done here tonight. We'll be right back after these messages.
Growing up as a child in East Texas, I was always taught that I had to outwork my opponent. That same principle has carried over into our law firm. And for over 20 years, we've outworked each and every insurance company, lawyer, or corporation we've gone against. If you look at our results, they prove it. Put us to work for you, and we promise to never stray from the same East Texas work ethic that you were raised on.
All right, back to the action here in Lindale, Texas. Beautiful stadium here in Lindale. Got a breeze tonight blowing across the field. And the Buckeyes just scored. If you were watching, if you just joined us, we're 3:11 left in the first quarter. Buckeyes up 14-0. Hernandez in with the big leg, and he's probably going to, he's got a wind at his back. I'm going to say they're going to probably, well, they may pooch kick this one. The last one they chose to punt, kick it through the end zone. They're going to do it again. So they're going to kick this one all the way through the back of the end zone. That'll bring it out to the 25-yard line for Canton. And Canton did a pretty good job of moving the football with the legs of number 41. He's a pretty good little back. I'd take him on our team.
Yeah, absolutely, Jeffy. They as Joe tells us back here stat-wise, they ran almost 5 minutes off the clock. Unfortunately, to that point, after 5 minutes and 3 first downs, they only gained 1 yard total as they moved the ball about 45 yards down the field, and then 45 yards worth of penalties and sacks. Wound up basically right back where they started on a big, long 3rd down, and wound up punting the Buckeyes, and it takes the Buckeyes all of 1 play for Brandon Tennyson to hit Dylan Fluellen on an 85-yard touchdown, and here we are in the third series once again with the black flag.
All right, handoff again, number 41 up the middle. Buckeyes sniff it out, and they're going to maybe say he got a yard on the carry.
It's going to be closer to a half yard maybe, Jeff, is that big front. I would not run at big number 44. The big cat, Burton, he's a beast. I mean, and here's the great news. Bryson Jimerson, who is every bit as talented, and his counterpart on the other side, has not played in about 5 weeks, broke a bone in his hand, and I think in the next couple of weeks we'll get Bryson back, and that defensive front for Coach Tommy Edwards will only get better, and that's great news if you're a Buckeye fan.
All right, from the shotgun, here's a snap. Handoff to 41, breaks a tackle, gets outside. Look at him turn on the jets. He's headed to the house. Had one guy to beat, cuts back across the middle. We've got one man to drag him down, and he gets another 10 yards after we get hands on him. What a great run there by number 41 for Canton, and thank God Smith was able to stop him.
Yeah, he was hit in the backfield, and the Buckeyes there just underestimating his speed. As Jeff, you can see that he can really run, and if you're stride for stride with Devion Smith, you really got it rolling. They're all the way down the 11-yard line with 2 minutes left now here. After that big run, they got nothing on the first down. 63-yard run, Joe tells us. And we want to just have a quick shout-out to our guru of stats, normally Mark Skinner, home with Julie, and we appreciate you guys and listening to us tonight.
All right, here's a pass to the end zone. And they go up for it. Boy, that was a great effort. They're saying touchdown.
Oh, my goodness.
Amazing.
That is.
What a great
he is
effort.
Out of bounds.
I thought he was out of bounds by a mile,
yeah,
but the ref says touchdown. And look at the Buckeyes. They're going, no, sir.
Yeah, there's just, as Coach Metzel is saying, there is no way.
Rowan's confused. He's like, we landed 3 yards outside the end zone.
Yeah, and I thought Rowan might have had it, but nevertheless, Canton with 3-play drive hit a touchdown strike to get on the board with 1:49 left. Extra point is up, and it is good. And Buckeyes, black flag, have allowed a touchdown here to the Canton Eagles. And I'm not sure about that touchdown pass, Jeff, but if the guy in the corner calls it a touchdown, it's a touchdown. They're going to have to come explain it to Coach Metzel.
All right, we'll be right back after these messages.
For 120 years, First National Bank of East Texas has been earning the trust of our customers and our East Texas communities through ever-changing times with the commitment, dedication, and financial strength of our network of branches across East Texas, fulfilling dreams big and small and earning your trust every day. Let our friendly, expert staff serve you and your family's financial needs. First National Bank of East Texas. Together, we're better.
Should have been time.
All right, we're back in Lindale, Eagle Stadium, playing here tonight against the Canton Eagles. That's kind of interesting. I just thought of that. Canton Eagles playing in Lindale Eagle Stadium. So against the Buckeyes.
We've already seen the Lindale Eagles this year, Jeff, and they are still playing. They won their playoff game last night. Of course, you remember that great running back and that great offensive line. And we said at the time, don't be surprised to see this team still playing at Thanksgiving. And the Lindale Eagles are district champs. They beat Kilgore and won their first playoff game last night. So congratulations to the Lindale Eagles, and we are glad we're not going to see you because you're in a different division.
All right, it's a high pooch kick, going to be fielded on the 34-yard line by Guidry. He's going to cut upfield and run into a wall, but he doesn't go down. They've got him by the shirt. Good tackle by Canton. They just drag him back 10 yards, and that is just great effort on the part of the Eagles.
Yeah, Cody gets progress all the way out to the 35-yard line where the Buckeyes will set up shop 1st and 10. But 1:39 left, 2 drives, 2 scores for the Buckeyes as they deferred to start this game. And that last drive was all of 1 minute, which was a 85-yard touchdown strike to number 14, Dylan Fluellen, who single covered up at the top again.
Rowan Fluellen, jet sweep right side, does a good job of spinning out of lost yardage to gain about 3. That's going to bring up 2nd and 7.
Yeah, you see they set the edge very well. They've seen that jet sweep screen on film so many times against the Buckeyes. And as you said, Rowe does a great job putting his foot in the ground and getting upfield about 3 yards, brings up 2nd down and 7, and the Buckeyes moving fast.
All right, hurry up offense. Handoff up the middle. and lowers his head. It looks like Smith, I think, is the ball carrier, going to get the first down.
Yeah, I just love Devion Smith and watching him run. He's got such great feet and such great burst, but more than that, Jeff, patience. He waits for his blocks to develop, sees that opening, and then shoots through it to move the chains. 1st and 10 Buckeyes from their own 44, and the Buckeye offense picking right up where they left off.
Yeah, 1st and 10 from the 46. Handoff, fakes the handoff to Smith, dumps one to a wide open Luke Watson, headed down the sideline, and he's going to be knocked out around the 34-yard line. Another big first down by the Buckeyes. I think Luke had dreams of 6 in his head. He had one guy to beat and was knocked out at the 34.
Yeah, his counterpart, number 11, the safety back there, opts for the smart option and goes for his legs because Luke was about to just freight train him.
All right, fakes the handoff to Rowan. Here we go deep again. Got a man open. He goes up. Touchdown, Dylan Fluellen. And he is just putting on a clinic.
I'm telling you.
I mean, what a great job. High points the ball and gets up there for the Buckeye score. And if they leave him in the game tonight, he could have 5-6 touchdowns before this night's over.
He'll score as often as BT can get the ball into his general vicinity because all you got to do is get it close.
Well, we talked about this with Allen today at lunch. I mean, all you got to do is kind of put the ball in his general vicinity, like you said, and he's going to go up and get it. He's going to fight for the ball. And, in fact, here's the extra point attempt. It's up and good. In fact, we compared him, I believe – I suggested you had to go back, maybe 10 years, and Coach Metzel said that he would probably say that you had to go back to Desmond Pollard. You remember Desmond? And he would go up like that and aggressive, about going after the ball.
Yeah, Des was really just like a Frisbee dog. You just kind of throw it up and he'll go get it. Of course, Des had that same build, long and lean and strong, and probably pound for pound the most talented receiver that the Buckeyes have ever had, and that's saying something given the Curtis Browns and the Manuel Johnsons and the Kevin Hollises and the Houston Tuminellos.
Yeah, we've had some incredible ones. That last play was 61 seconds and 65 yards for a touchdown. So Buckeyes scoring quick tonight. You see Canton's strategy to try to keep the ball on the ground and eat up clock and not let the Buckeyes. But the Buckeyes, our time of possession is going to be so one-sided it's going to be ridiculous tonight. We'll have the ball maybe 5 minutes in the first quarter, and and they're going to have it the rest of the time, in this ball game tonight. So,
well, as long as the scoreboard stays one-sided as it is right now, Jeff, as the fans can see at home, 21-7, your Buckeyes lead. Still 48 seconds left in the first quarter, and the Buckeyes deferred. Let's see if they can now come out and get another stop here against this Canton Eagle team, which had great momentum on that last drive.
All right, fielded about the 7-yard line. He's going to be dropped just inside the 20. So they're going to give it to him. They're going to say his forward progress was at the 20. So Canton comes out once again, try to get something going after a score on the last possession. They did a great job. On the legs of number 41, who is an absolute, he's super fast, like good, strong runner. He is the strong suit of this football team.
Jeff, we want to send some shout-outs out there to Buckeye Country. Number 1, Bob Lindsay. Buckeye Bob out there, we want to say hi to you. We also want to say to some family members of Coach Metzel, his uncles and aunts, Jim and Bobby in Jacksonville, Florida, and Dick and Diane there in Oak Ridge, Tennessee, just outside of Knoxville. We welcome and Buckeye fans from all over the world as Matt Burton is just putting on a show. 4-yard tackle for a loss there. And, Jeff, as long as they're getting penetration like that, it's just kind of not even fair as this Buckeye Black Flag defense not happy about the last scoring drive they gave up and very quickly turned this into from 1st and 10 at the 20 to 2nd and 14 from the 16 as Canton Eagles going backwards on this drive.
All right, 2nd and 14 for Canton. They got one back in the backfield. Quarterback's in the shotgun. Here's the snap. Drops back, looking to pass, lets one go. And defended by Smith, number 3. Ball intended for the wideout, number 14. They both went for it. Smith was able to knock it down.
Just great defense. Also want to say a special shout-out watching from home tonight as this first quarter ends. Coach Jackson and Mama Shirley Jackson, who basically raised us in half the town.
He's not proud of that, so don't give him that credit. He's probably ashamed that you just said that.
Well, Coach will admit we were his favorite class. If not, then
we're claiming it.
We're claiming it. We're absolutely claiming it. So hello out there to coach. Who?
How about he was our favorite coach?
Absolutely. There's one guy for us that comes into mind when you say the word coach, and that's our second dad, Coach Jackson out there. We hope you're doing okay, Coach, out there.
That guy was a lot of fun.
I tell you what, he shaped us in ways, and so many guys that came through the school. And, of course, Miss Jackson, who was all of our music teacher forever and ever, who just
you're just saying that because you were the music guy, and Miss Jackson, you were the favorite with Miss Jackson because you could play the drums and the tambourine and the horns.
Well, she's my mom's very best friend in the world, and that means that she's my second mom, and along with Karen and Kendall, that just makes me lucky. So hello to the Jackson family out there. Kendall Jackson, their grandson on this team, a talented running back and linebacker that will be back in a couple of weeks, and we'll need him as these Buckeyes advance. Now it's third down to start the second quarter and 13, Jeff. We will let you make this call as the Buckeye black flag tries to get off the field.
All right, here's the snap. Quarterback drops back. Got a man open, and he's able to hang on to it all the way out to the 24-yard line. My problem was, Todd, you were playing like the drums and the piano, and I could play the radio. That was pretty much it. I don't think she was really that impressed with that.
Well, she loved Bob. Let's put it that way.
She liked Bob. She liked Bob.
Punting situation for the Canton Eagles is they got backed up here, and despite that last completion, they got 4th and 6 from their own 20. And so the Canton Eagles, with 5 seconds into this second quarter, are going to punt back to the Buckeyes, who already have a 21-7 lead. Number 14, Dylan Fluellen, now standing at his own 40-yard line, and let's see if they give him something to return here.
Nice snap there by Canton, and he gets off a really good punt. Going to be fielded on the 40 by Rowan Fluellen, who's making his way through the middle of the field, past midfield out to the 47-yard line. So Buckeyes setting up in their best field position so far.
And I said Dylan Fluellen, it's Rowan. And I'll tell you why, Jeff, it messed me up last week. Rowe's probably 2 inches taller and 20 pounds heavier than he was all summer long when I was seeing him every day. And he's turning into a Fluellen right in front of your eyes. And I tell you what, that is a deep, deep gene pool there as Rose sets us up 1st and 10 inside Canton territory at the 47. BT and the Buckeyes on the attack.
All right, fakes the handoff. Keeper, lots of room as Brandon makes his way out past the 40-yard line. He's close to the first down marker, going to be 2 yards short. And I'll tell you what, Rowan is all the Fluellen boys are good. Trey, Dylan, all of them are good friends of mine. Their dad, we played football with, known him all of our lives. But Rowan, man, he's just one of my favorites. He's a sweet kid. Spends a lot of time at our house as he's the same age as my son, Braden, and he's just a good kid. I'm glad to see him doing so well in the field and in the classroom.
Look out.
They're launching one again to Dylan Fluellen, and he's going to score again.
Yeah, just throw it to 14.
It's literally just put it up in the air, and I'll come down with it. That's 3 for 3. Just launching one down the field.
3 touchdowns for Dylan Fluellen, Jeff, inside of 13 minutes. And we got to check with Joe Dodd up here in terms of how close he's getting. We said he just needed a couple more touchdowns to move up the chain.
Well, he's number 12 right now. I'll look it up.
Yeah, I'm not sure that that's going to stand for very long, as he's already got 3 tonight, and we're not even a minute into the second quarter as the extra point with Hernandez, number 4, Guidry, on the hold. Here's the snap. Kick is up, and it is good, and the Buckeyes take a 28-7 lead.
Yeah, with those 3, he was number 12. He was ranked number 12. Let's look at here.
So 12 touchdowns is what he had in the season. 16 is the record. He's now up to 15, which puts him in a tie for second.
Yeah,
with Desmond Pollard, LaMarcus Morton, and Houston.
He literally could beat Blake Lynch tonight if they'll leave him in. I need to go down on the sideline and say, don't pull him tonight. Let's go for the record.
I think you can say as he just passed Curtis Brown, Lamar Harris, and Willie Darden, and Kevin Hollis, and Manuel Johnson.
Who are those people? Never heard those names before, right? Yeah.
Well, Dylan Fluellen, folks,
he could literally take that. By next week, he'll have the record.
Yeah, he can have the record for most touchdowns in a season by any Gilmer Buckeye, and boy, is that saying something, as he has put on an absolute clinic. And I can guarantee you, Jeff, that from here on in, he's going to see 2, if not 3 jerseys standing in front of him. But quite frankly, I'm not real sure it matters. When he's doing this.
Well, when they do that, they just throw it to his brother on the other side.
Exactly.
I mean,
pick your poison. Yeah. If you're gonna double cover Dylan, you're gonna have to either man up Mace. Or you're gonna have to man up.
You got Mason Hurt. You got Rowan down there. You've got Jaden. I mean, what Pick your poison. All right, going to be fielded on the 31-yard line. Got a gap, and then he gets nailed at the 45-yard line, but that's good field position. They're going to take over 1st and 10 from the 46.
Buckeyes.
So Canton going to try to get something going with 11:03 left to play in the second quarter.
Skylar Hall for the Buckeyes in on that tackle, Jeff, is 28-7 with 11:03 left to play in this first half. The black flag now coming on the field for the 4th time. They've really shut Canton down 3 times, but that long run and then the touchdown pass in the end zone got the goose egg off the board and just kind of woke the Buckeyes up a little bit. But Jeff, I think at the end of the day, you're really going to see this Buckeye defense kind of make a statement here.
Quarterback rolls to his left side, heavy pressure, throws a wobbly ball, dangerous down the field.
Intercepted.
Off. And right back down the field, they've got the wrong guy with the ball in his hands. He's going to take it all the way back.
Let me tell you what just happened, Jeff, if you didn't see it. Rowan Fluellen cuts in front of the ball, juggles it up into the arms of Devion Smith, and he is gone to the house. And just like that, in one play from scrimmage, the Buckeye black flag gets their revenge and puts it on the board. Credit that interception to Rowan Fluellen, who had it in his arms, and he bounced it up when he hit the ground, and there was Devion, grabbed it, and that is all he needed. He goes 46 yards for the Buckeye touchdown to bring this to 34-7. Extra point left to come. That is highlight film stuff. How about that for the black flag? Is they get a defensive score, and this one can start to get ugly now as the extra point is up and good. 35-7.
158 yards, by the way, for Dylan Fluellen receiving yards so far tonight with 3 touchdowns.
In a quarter.
Basically in a quarter. 10:48 left to play in the second quarter. Gilmer 35, Eagles 7. We'll be right back.
Did you see that, Joe?
Yeah, I did. Winningham Chevrolet is proud to support the Gilmer Buckeyes. Don't miss out on the 15% savings on the 2020 Blazer, Equinox, and Trax. And remember, our service department is now open Saturday 8 to 12. Stop by and see Jay, Roger, and Lindsay at Winningham Chevrolet.
All right, we're back to the action here in Eagle Stadium as the Buckeyes about to kick off to the Canton Eagles. And we're just looking also at the touchdowns, passing touchdowns. And right now we got Brandon Tennyson, who's also moving up in the ranks. And
he just passed Poppy Brown with 27, and he is now, after that, up to 30 as he breaks the 30 mark. And I tell you what, with this pace, Jeff, you're going to see all kinds of Buckeyes that are moving their way up the record books. Some huge names, but Dylan Fluellen putting on a clinic here in the first half as the Buckeyes are going to pooch kick once again into the wind.
Fielded on the 30-yard line, and they get down there and do a good job of covering it. This time they stop them at the 37 instead of the 45.
That's Will Blakely in on that tackle for the Buckeyes, doing a good job on special teams. And this one can get out of hand real quick here for the Canton Eagles, Jeff, as they tried to go to the air. What an incredible play by Rowan Fluellen, who cuts underneath the receiver. And, you know, he's so adept at getting into the passing lanes and picking those balls off. He hits the ground, and it bounces straight into the arms of Devion Smith, who grabs it, and that is all he needs. He goes to the house, 46 yards to make this 35-7. And the Buckeyes have broken this one wide open, and Canton now trying to calm themselves down and eat some clock.
Handoff up the middle, and there's nothing to be had there but a yard or two. That'll bring up 2nd and 8, but it'll eat some time off the clock, which is what Canton would like to do the rest of this game.
That's Chris Cade, and he's really been the heart and soul of this Canton Eagle attack so far. He had that 163-yard run that set up the only Canton touchdown of the night. Other than that, Jeff, it hadn't been really a whole lot of offense from Canton. Is that group of 3 led by Matt Burton down there on that 3-4 Buckeye front has just really shut things down.
All right, here's the snap. Handoff once again, 45, and he is just clobbered immediately by number 5, Jed Jones. As he gets the ball, he never had a chance with that one.
Yeah, Jed Jones crashing in from that weak side and just blows that play up, makes it 3rd and 9.
How many 5'5" linebackers do you know that, I mean, or maybe 5'6"? I don't know. He could be 5'7". He's not tall.
Yeah, but I tell you what,
that guy plays like he's 6'4".
Yeah, 230. He will hit you. Jet Jones, just such instinctual. He reminds me of Zach Smith that used to play linebacker at Texas Tech. You know, just such an instinctual ball hawk.
And what
from
a
that
cool
linebacker
name,
position.
Jet Jones.
And you know,
I mean, look at that. Quarterback rolling to his left side. Look at the pass. He's going to tuck it and try to get something knocked out of bounds there by number 41 for the Buckeyes. That is
41 is Skylar Hall, senior linebacker, coming up and making that hit and bringing up 4th down, only a 1-yard gain, and Canton's going to punt again. Cody Guidry is going to, no, I take that back. Here comes Ro Fluellen once again onto the field. And Jeff, you tell me that he's not 2 inches taller and 15 pounds heavier than he was 8 weeks ago. He is looking more and more like a Fluellen every day.
Yeah, he's kind of like Choice. You know,
he grows by the quarter.
Yeah, Choice came out in the 3rd quarter and had grown an inch. Big guy. It's going to take a hop. Rowan's really wanting to get a piece of it, and he's going to. Dodges one would-be tackler and then brought down around the 34-yard line. So Gilmer coming out with fair field position. 1st and 10 on the 34.
Still 9:08 to play in this first half, Jeff. And I tell you what, these Buckeyes have offensively just put on a show here. You know, what do you say about Brandon Tennyson to Dylan Fluellen? It's every time that he touches it, it's another 6 points. As he's got 3 touchdowns already in just 13 minutes of the first half. And I tell you what, I mean, you know, you better put somebody else over there on him. As they keep singling up man to man, and I think Coach Metzel can just basically say, you know, look, we'll do this anytime we want.
All right, pass complete out in the flats. And look at this. They got a flag on the play. So probably going to come back, but that is going all the way to the house. That was 32 Ward. No, that was number 2, Jaden Griffin on the reception. But we got a flag on the play, so they're going to probably bring that one back.
Yeah, that's an offensive hold. I think that was kind of on number 55 there for the Buckeyes, Gavin Lillier. And he kind of tackled his man, and the back judge saw it very clearly. Takes a touchdown off the board, but hey, the way
that's
the Buckeyes.
That's a personal foul.
Is that a chop block?
They're going to back that one up, 15.
Wow, well, that's just, I think, going to provide the way the Buckeye offense has been going, a little more stat padding there for BT and the Buckeyes, as they just had their way with this Canton team through the air. Going against the wind, as you say, Jeff, they're heading south now. They're heading north, and that's where the wind's coming from.
All right, they're going to pass once again, this time to Ward over here on the right side. Ward out to the sideline. Good open field tackle there by the Canton Eagles as they're able to force them out of bounds. Good gain. It's going to bring up 2nd and about 16.
Picked up 10 and still got 15 more to go, Jeff. As obvious passing downs, as deep down in this territory, probably not 4-down territory. The Buckeyes have yet to punt, but they are going to be attacking through the air. And look, if anything breaks down, watch Brandon Tennyson and his feet. He is always dangerous.
All right, quick pass, Rowan Fluellen. Good block out here on the outside. Rowan does a good job with his feet getting down past the 40. They say fumble on the play. And looks like number 55 picks up the fumble for the Buckeyes, so they're able to hang on to it.
Yeah, that's literally a great hustle on the play. Gets out there to trail and winds up falling on that ball to bring up a 3rd down and manageable. And this may be 4-down territory for the Buckeyes.
Buckeyes passing a lot tonight. They normally pass about 46% of the time. And tonight we're seeing just a little bit more an air assault. Brandon fires a bullet complete to number 12. Or is this 12? Yeah, it's 12.
Yeah, that's Mason Hurt. Stiff
going down the sideline, dives in for the touchdown.
My gracious.
What a great effort by Mason
Hurt. It just takes that little slant look in, and BT puts it on a rope.
And then walks off like, I do this every day.
I'm telling you, it's number 12.
I've been here before. Not a big deal.
Says, hey, Dylan, you've hogged the first quarter with your 3 touchdowns. Yeah. Watch this. As that one goes, Joe, how far was that one? 60-yard touchdown strike, and I tell you what, Brandon Tennyson may climb up to the top 3 or 4 Buckeye quarterbacks, which is really saying something in terms of touchdown passes for a season in this game alone. That's got to be his.
Brandon probably won't see the second half at all.
That may be his 5th touchdown already here in this first. We still have 8 minutes to play in the second quarter, and the Buckeyes knocking on the door of a 42-7 lead. Kick is up And it is no
missed
good.
Missed it. And I said this earlier in the game. I think the last 4 games the Buckeyes played against Canton, they've scored 56 points each time, and we're already looking at 41 points with 8:01 left in the second quarter. So yikes. And look for them to go for 2 on the next touchdown. I assure you they don't want to leave that undone. So
total domination here by the Buckeyes. We'll reflect on a few of our sponsors and be right back after these messages.
The Med Shop Pharmacy in Gilmer's features a drive-through pharmacy for all your prescription and over-the-counter drug needs. Place refills using our free phone app RX2Go, or use our convenient auto refill line 24/7 at 903-680-2626. Stop by and see our unique gift items for all occasions, or visit us on the web at gilmermedshop.com. And don't forget, the Med Shop is your flu shot and vaccine headquarters for the fall and winter season. The Med Shop Pharmacy, your friendly hometown pharmacy.
Back to the action here after a 60-yard Buckeye touchdown strike from Brandon Tennyson to Mason Hurt. 41-7, the Buckeyes lead still with 8 minutes left to play here in this first half. Hernandez to kick off once again. Jeff, his leg might get sore.
All right, high pooch kick. Going to be fielded on the 30-yard line once again. Return down the right sideline, maybe a couple of yards on the return. And here comes Canton with 7:58 left in the second quarter, trying to get something going.
And, Jeff, we will send a special shout-out to Pat and Beth Camp there that are listening in Gilmer tonight along with the Buckeye Army.
That's another 2 that don't want to claim us.
Yeah, but sorry, you're stuck with us for
they've had us around for a long time.
Better part of 5 decades, and they're taking the scenic route with us.
2 of the best people that I know.
I tell you what.
Wonderful people.
Another. We've been so fortunate to have so many people that are like second mom and dads to us, and they certainly belong to that club with Coach and Shirley Jackson too.
Handoff up the middle, 41, got room, and caught from behind by number 10, Luke Watson, but not until he gets the first down.
He's quick, Jeff. That's number 41. Once again for the Canton Eagles, he's been the heart and soul of their whole offense. That's Chris Cade, and he is at full speed in one step. Moves the chains now, knocking on the door of midfield into Buckeye territory. And had it not been for him, Jeff, the Canton Eagles would kind of be nowhere tonight. He has really been the bright spot for the Canton Eagles.
Quick pitch, number 41 is going to be hit at the line of scrimmage. So that's going to be kind of nothing. That's a nothing burger. 2nd and 10, ball's on the 48-yard line.
Luke Watson just playing out of his mind there. Along with number 7, and that's Tristan McKeon, who's getting back to his old self at outside linebacker, and he's just been such a force all year. And kind of getting back into the flow of things. Stops that one for no gain. 2nd and 10 now for Canton with 7 minutes left, trailing 41-7, and they're just trying to get something positive in any direction going, Jeff, and just stop the slide here that the Buckeyes have had them on.
Quarterback dropping back, looking to pass, fires one, intercepted.
Guess who? Rowan Fluellen
said, "Hey man, you took my other one. Look at him fly down the
field.
Fluellen,
pick six of the night."
Did you see him weaving in and out of traffic? I tell you what, we talked about it today at lunch. Rowan doesn't even look like he's moving that fast.
Oh, he was moving fast.
He was. Because he looks like he normally when he's running, he's just kind of flowing like a river through, and he just has a knack for not getting touched. But he didn't look like he's moving that fast. That time, he looked like he was flying downfield. He was
flying. Rowan Fluellen with his, let's call it the first and a half interception of the game, as he was critical to
I can't believe they're not going for 2 here.
That was 53-yard touchdown, pick 6 return by Rowan Fluellen. Extra point left to come. Kick is up, and it is no good to the right this time. Goodness gracious.
We're
number
struggling
20,
a little bit tonight.
Hernandez struggling, but the black flag
defense. His legs probably hurting.
He's kicked off so much. The black flag defense not struggling. 2 pick 6s already. Davion Smith and Rowan Fluellen to bring the score to 47-7. Still 6:43 left in the first half. We'll recognize a few of our sponsors and come right back.
Please join Jeff Rash and Alan Metzel each Monday morning for the Gilmer Buckeyes Coaches Show. Every week, Jeff and Alan discuss elements of the program, speak with special guests, give player updates, review key plays from the prior week, and give insights on the opponent for the current week. As a fan, this is your chance to go into the locker room and behind the scenes. To view the Coaches Show, go to GilmerBuckeyes.com and click on the Coaches Show button. Go Buckeyes!
All right, Todd, and we've seen that a lot tonight this year.
Pick six, Rowan
Fluellen. He has picked off, I think that's his sixth. Is that his sixth
interception? And the fifth touchdown of the season. I always challenge Rowe to get a number of interceptions and a number of touchdowns. Usually I say it's 2 and 2. He got one on both play, right? He's just killed two birds with one stone.
That's a Whataburger, man.
I'm telling you,
a Whataburger every time you do that.
Getting expensive. Maybe whatever keeps him growing, I'm all for it.
All right, fielded again on the 30-yard line. Finds a gap. Good return, almost to the 50-yard line. As we have just been testing this guy all night tonight. Number 4 there on the return. Nice job. Almost, like I said, out to the 49-yard line. And so the Canton Eagles coming in after giving up 2 pick sixes tonight. Coming out trying to get something going, 47-7, and Todd, we've still got 6:38 left to play.
Half a quarter left, and these Canton Eagles are going, my goodness, Uncle.
Well, they're playing the number 3 team in the state,
who is, by the way, Jeff, getting better. These Buckeyes
who beat the number 2 team in the state,
last
by the way.
week. Yeah.
So you can play that out however you want to. All right, heavy pursuit here. Great job. Number 41, this guy can run the ball. Across midfield, gain of about 3 yards on the play. And for those of you that didn't watch the Coaches Show this last week, we talked about the controversial play where there was a fumble, that would have not allowed the Hawks last week to tie the ball game 28-28. And clearly, it was a bad call. And that was a fumble. They should have never had the ball back to be able to tie that score up. Luckily, the Buckeyes able to march all the way down the field and with 0 seconds on the clock, win by a field goal. But they should have won by more than that had that controversial play had not been called. Number 41 goes up in the middle, and he just kind of tiptoes up there because he's like, man, there's about 900 pounds of guy up there that I really don't want to do that, Coach. When he's calling that play, the 41's got to be going,
are you sure?
Come on, Coach. Are you
sure?
Can I run outside, Coach?
Yeah, our big junior, Derek Borda, that takes up his own area code down there, just swallowed that whole. And as we bring up 3rd down and 9 into Buckeye territory, we want to send a special shout-out to the Hagler family tonight. Nolan Hagler, he has just been Mr. Buckeye for decades. His funeral will be tomorrow, and we will dedicate the rest of this season and obviously the rest of these games to Nolan Hagler in his memory. I hope we can all develop as much love and affection for these kids as Nolan had.
All right, almost got that second sack for the night. Look at that. Great defensive play.
Who?
Dylan Fluellen reaches up last second, whap, knocks it down. What a great defensive play. He's having a great night tonight.
Yeah, 3 touchdowns in the first half, and little brother saying, wait, you don't even have to throw it to me. I'll intercept it and take it back myself.
And don't look now, but little brother's going back to do the punt return.
Yeah,
he wants one of those tonight too, I assure you.
5:03 left to play in this first half. 47-7, your Buckeyes lead, and they are not done, folks. We may see a 50-point first half, and Jeff, don't forget, the Buckeyes won the toss and deferred to start this game.
They're going to have to run the clock. Bad punt for Canton. No return. It's going to get out past the 40-yard line to about the 34-yard line. So Gilmer comes in with 4:57 left on the clock with their offensive unit. And again, I mean, it's they could put 2 more scores on the board with this much time.
Yeah, they'll score as much as they want. Yeah. And I think Coach Metzel will keep his foot on the accelerator for this first half. Embarrassment of riches, number 21 in at running back, that's Kiki Johnson. And he's one of about 7 Buckeyes that can flat go.
All right, handoff around the left side, and I'm not even sure who the back was that time. Who was that?
That was actually number...
That's 38. Oh, that's Ashton Haynes.
Ashton Haynes, that's the young sophomore.
Haynes is him. He is a name you're going to want to know,
he got some carries a couple of weeks ago, Jeff.
Got pulled up from the
JV.
JV.
And he's no JV running back.
Yeah, had 100 yards in the game he played. And they're launching a fly route to Dylan Fluellen again. Guess what? Fourth touchdown.
Come on.
They threw a flag, but it's not going to be against us, surely.
Oh, he called pass interference against Dylan Fluellen. That is.
Well, he's trying to keep this manageable.
I got to tell you, folks, put that one on Dylan's highlight film, because that is about as big of a makeup call as you can get. That ball's in the air. Dylan just slows down. He does not extend his hands. He does not do anything you shouldn't do. If anything else, I think he tells the referee that's a terrible call going by. And if there's any justice in the world, we come right back to the same play and go score again. Dylan is just absolutely owning everybody in green tonight. That's going to back up 15 yards, and I hope that just ticks off Coach Lipsey. Now we got both Fluellens on the same side of the field, and Brandon Tennyson is just carving it up. That call just irks me. I'm sorry, but it just irks me.
Terrible. No Gilmer Buckeyes ever had 4 touchdowns in the game receiving.
Wow. So Joe Dodd tells us that no Gilmer Buckeye has ever had 4 touchdowns receiving in the same game, and that may be over here in a second. As Ro Fluellen takes this one, goes all the way around the end, makes one man miss, and he is down the sideline and picks up several yards and a
late hit.
As Ro Fluellen just takes an inside screen and goes all the way to the other side of the field. And Jeff, I'm telling you, Ro's got another gear right now. I mean, just in terms of his speed, he's got another gear, as that's going to move the chains. Let's see what the white hat calls here. As it's got a dead ball, personal foul, late hit against Canton is going to move the chains for the Buckeyes and give them a first down with 4:32 left to play in the first half. Ro Fluellen takes the inside screen on this side of the field on the home side, wheels that one all the way around to the opposite sideline, picks up about 12, 13 yards, and still manages to get hit late out of bounds and convert the first down. So Buckeye drive still alive at their own 46, 1st and 10.
All right, they're going to hand it off to Cody Guidry around the right side. Good defensive pursuit by Canton. They do a good job coming up fast on the handoff and number 14 makes it a great open field tackle against Guidry, who's not easy to tackle.
Yeah, somebody go down and tell Coach Lipsey here next door to us that no Gilmer Buckeye has ever had 4 touchdowns receiving in a game, as Dylan Fluellen just one catch away. He's pretty much scored every time he's touched it tonight.
Here's the snap. Drops back, looking to pass. Dumps one across the middle to number 14, Fluellen, and he's going to get dropped for a loss.
Yes, that is a drag route, and Dylan scored a couple of times on that play against Pleasant Grove. We got a flag down back here. That might be holding against Canton, as I think they tackled here number 4, Cody Guidry. We'll see what this flag is.
That was way away from the play. I'm not sure exactly. Yeah, it could be a personal foul of some sort, being that far away from the play.
There's obviously some blocking going on down there, but let's see what the call is.
I wouldn't be surprised if this was a personal foul. That was just so far away from the play.
Yeah, dead ball,
yeah,
unsportsmanlike conduct against Canton, and that's going to move down 15 yards and an automatic first down. So Canton, with a lot of frustration, down 47-7. Not even into the locker room.
I don't blame them for being
frustrated. They're on their way to basketball season. It's pretty obvious, and you got some seniors that are trying to hit anybody wearing a white jersey right now. And great, really good refereeing crew, Jeff, outside of maybe a couple of calls tonight. That's a good call to keep everything in hand.
Quick pitch, number 38, Haynes, left side, down the sideline, picks up a first down on a 14-yard run. Great job there by Haynes. And again, that's a name you're going to want to get familiar with over the next few years. He's going to be a big part of the backfield for the Gilmer Buckeyes for the next 2 years.
Yeah, he's kind of the next Davion Smith coming, but he's
another really nice kid.
Yeah, I mean, just fabulous. That's a great thing about these Buckeyes, Jeff, is that as talented as they are, they're great kids to boot.
Those 2 kids in the backfield right now, Brandon and Ashton, 2 of the nicest boys you'll meet. I mean, just great kids. Hand off to Haynes up the middle. And he's not going to pick up anything, maybe a yard.
Straight to the line of scrimmage, Jeff. 3:18 left, 47-7. And watch number 14, who's out here man-to-man. And they're just daring them, and here they go. They're going to target number 14 here, and he's tackled immediately, but not before they got a 5-yard pickup. We got a flag down, and normally that's going to be in the area of holding. This back judge is just wearing out our offensive lineman, and that is not a call that's coming. It's coming from the umpire, actually. That's going to back the Buckeyes up and probably nail us with another holding penalty. Personal foul, chop block against the Buckeyes. That's going to back us up.
Well, and this is an example, Todd, of Coach Metzel trying not to. He's trying to run the clock out here with these play calls they're doing, because anytime he wants, he could just go to the end zone with 14 and keep. Yeah, I mean, seriously,
Yeah.
and he knows that.
Yeah.
And so he's trying to run some short routes and some inside things. You can tell if you watch Gilmer Buckeye football, you know their play calls.
It's marked off 16 yards though.
And so here, let's see what they're probably going to hand off again. Nope, going to go to the air. They're going to launch one. Midfield, number 12, Mason will take it all the way to the house for his second score of the night.
Touchdown, Mason. 5 touchdown passes from Brandon Tennyson. And I got to tell you, I'm ready to see the stats in terms of yardage for Brandon Tennyson. All these penalty yards just turn into padded stat yards for BT as he's tossed touchdown after touchdown. 5 TDs so far here tonight, as BT starts kind of rewriting the record books here in this first round of the playoffs. It's been a clinic, and now Mason Hurt with his second touchdown catch of the first half. And we've got a 50-plus point first half from the Buckeyes, Jeff, for the first time in a long time. You remember they broke every school record as the kick is up, and it is...
That one was good. Come on.
Penalty.
Oh, got a penalty on the
illegal
false
procedure.
Start.
It's going to back up the Buckeyes. So there's 53-7. We're looking for the extra point. But, Jeff, you remember offensively against the Atlanta Rabbits, the Buckeyes broke the school record for number of yards. And this is going to be close to that kind of first half.
800 yards?
Almost 800. Almost 780-plus yards as Guidry's on with the hold. Kick is up, and it is good. Bring the score to 54-7 with still 2:55 left to play. What a clinic by the Gilmer Buckeyes in every state of the definition of the word. And we'll be right back after these messages.
Don't miss the 4A UIL Football State Championships this December. For more information, visit uiltexas.org.
Two-time Hall of Fame inductees, Brent Godarzi and Marty Young. Back-to-back #1 trucking firm in the nation. Back-to-back best attorney and best law firm in East Texas.
All right, Todd, it is 54-7 with 2:55 left in the second quarter. If you're at home watching the game, it's because you really love football or you're watching your grandchild play. It is a slaughter here. Buckeyes were picked by 33, which we were kind of scoffing at.
Which we blew by about 1 minute into the second quarter.
You know, and like I said, our coaching staff are classy guys. They don't want to just keep running this up. I'm assuming we're going to run the clock hopefully in the second quarter, and we're going to have a lot of subs in. Fielded on the 25-yard line and returned to the 33. Here comes Canton's offense once again, just not being effective at all tonight other than one big run by number 41 that set up the score.
Chase Waller in on that tackle, the senior safety, covering special teams for the Buckeyes. We also want to send a special shout-out to our scout team players of the week. That would be Eric Nelson on offense and Dylan Ray on defense. Appreciate those guys so much and all their sacrifice for working hard all week. And as you said, Jeff, now a lot of young Buckeyes in to get some action here. Under 3 minutes left in the first half, 54-7. Lopsided affair on the scoreboard thanks to your Gilmer Buckeyes.
Handoff up the middle. It's going to be good for a gain of 2. And you got big choice down there. I can see him on the field. This guy's going to be a absolute factor in every game you see from here on out. Not only this season, but certainly next year's. He's just a junior.
Yeah, he's a monster, Jeff.
He is a big boy.
He is a specimen. Second down at 8 as the clock now runs. Canton taking all the time off the play clock that they can, understandably. And remember, Jeff, when we look at these halftime stats, 2 offensive possessions were actually pick sixes for the Buckeyes as they get pressure on the quarterback. This is almost intercepted.
Yeah, they tipped that one.
Yeah, we've now got a flag down, but that is a tipped pass. So let's see who they call that one against. That may be a defensive holding and an automatic first down. As again, this umpire is just wearing us out. As he has made about 8 calls already tonight. Yeah, that's pass interference against the defense. That's going to move them down 15, and the Buckeyes are just kind of saying, you know, look, what do we do? Well, right now, if it's an incomplete pass, I think the referees are going to hope for. This
may be Allen saying, "Could you help us out here, buddy?" I mean, seriously, that really does happen.
Yeah.
I know you.
It wasn't pass interference.
Yeah, it was like, help us, call some penalties on us, help us out here, buddy. We're trying everything we can. Handoff up the middle, almost breaks it. But number 41 there,
that's
the senior.
Skylar Hall for the Buckeyes, along with Arona, the sophomore, teaming up on that tackle. That's a 5-yard pickup. Clock ticks down, under 2 minutes now left to play in this first half. Once again, 54-7. The Buckeyes have blown this one wide open a long time ago. And we have seen an impressive first half for sure. And I think now, I mean, Jeff, you'd love to be in a position going into playoffs where you got to play 4 full quarters, but that's not going to happen tonight. This ball game was over pretty much 2 minutes into the game, and I think going in at halftime, Coach Metzel's going to have seen enough and pack it in.
And they're going to sack their quarterback. That's the second sack of the night. Number 5, Jet Jones, going to get the credit for that one.
Yeah, I can't believe, there's flags down, and that's going to be offsides against Gilmer. I do think number 65 jumped, but that's not going to be the call. That's going to be a first down for Canton as the Buckeyes are not going to get any benefit of the doubt from an officiating standpoint.
No, they're not going to get any breaks.
Crowley Funeral Home has been...
The only thing that's in danger of breaking right now is this scoreboard here in Lindale, as the Buckeyes have tilted this one lopsided. 54-7 their lead with 1:17 left in the play in the first half. And we will have a whole lot of interesting stats, thank you, Joe Dodd, to cover in the second half, and lots of shout-outs as we prepare for probably next week's game. Folks, will be on Thursday, we know already. We'll see what happens at Hamby Stadium in Mesquite as that pass is incomplete. Stops the clock with 59 seconds. That'll bring up now second down and 10 from midfield after the penalty. And most likely, Jeff, we'll check scores at halftime, but we expect to play Godley, which is just southwest of Fort Worth. And that will be an area playoff game. We'll play that on Thursday night. Planned for Hamby Stadium in Mesquite, but we will see what happens as the night wears on. First, we got another 59 second plus the second half to play here as the Buckeyes looking to bring pressure, and they do in 41 once again, attacking that line of scrimmage. Jeff breaks it for another 5-yard gain, and the Buckeye defense will be happy with that to run out this clock. They may get one more play off here. Third down and 6. Let's see if they put this one in the air, Jeff, to try to move the chains, or if they keep it on the ground with 41.
I don't know. With their track record tonight, I don't think I'd throw something that far in the air.
Don't throw it in anything near anybody named Fluellen.
Yeah. It's more like don't throw it to anybody in a white jersey. So they're going to let the clock tick down under 20 seconds before they snap. Here's the snap. Handoff. 41 around the left side. Jet Jones is going to make the tackle, and Buckeyes are going to go in halftime 54-7, ladies and gentlemen. The Gilmer Band is here tonight, so we'll be bringing you that presentation momentarily, so stay tuned.
Crowley Funeral Home has been serving families in Gilmer since 1883. Funeral director and Gilmer High School graduate Troy Murray leads the professional staff at Crowley Funeral Home and is committed to providing dignified, respectful, and compassionate assistance to every family in their time of need. Crowley Funeral Home feels strongly about maintaining high standards of excellent service while still keeping prices affordable. At Crowley Funeral Home, we treat your family as our own.
This is what matters. This is beyond X's and O's. This is the difference mutual respect makes. This is what character looks like. This is what defines us in Texas. This is sportsmanship. School sports. It's not the outcome that matters most, but the way the games are played. This message presented by the Texas University Interscholastic League and the Texas High School Athletic Directors Association.
Gilmer National Bank is your hometown community bank, serving people in East Texas for over a century. We are your neighbors, friends, and partners in making this a great place to live. Our employees make us a special place to do business. We are there for you when you need us. Come by and see us and find out what makes people say, "That's my bank." Gilmer National Bank, an equal opportunity lender and member FDIC.
Introducing the award-winning Stars Drill Team, directed by Donna Lane and Lauren Murray. Officers from left to right are Emma Warden Jr., Laney Drake Jr., Sarah Warden Jr., Tiffany Wilson Jr., and Skylar Fort Sr. And now the Stars will be joined by our majorettes and will perform a fan routine to raise your glass. Now, Buckeye fans, on your feet and make some noise as the Stars kick to the Gilmer Buckeye fight song.
Ladies and gentlemen, Gilmer Independent School District is proud to present one of the most decorated military marching bands in Texas, the pride of Upshur County, the UIL Sweepstakes Award-winning Gilmer Buckeye Band. The Buckeye Band marches in the traditional American military style under the field command of Drum Major Jalen Wilkerson and feature twirler Hannah Threadgill. The band steps off to Invictus March by K.L. King and Queen City March by Bourne. Gilmer ISD bands are directed by Eric Gray, Chris Witt, Sarah Thompson, and Jonathan Stafford. Percussion director is Keaton Box, and the major sponsor is Michelle Faulkner. The Buckeye Band will compete at UIL Marching Contest on Tuesday, November 17th. The band will perform at 1 p.m. at Prim Stadium in Sulphur Springs. Please make plans to attend and support the Buckeye Band.
Hey, East Texas, Matt Darby here, and I serve as one of the pastors at New Beginnings Baptist Church in Gilmer and in Longview. Let me ask you a question. Are you looking for hope in your life right now? We believe that the answer is Jesus Christ, and every Sunday we fix our eyes on Him and we worship Jesus together. I want to invite you to one of our worship services at 8, 9:30, and 11 in Gilmer and in Longview. We'll see you there.
At Farmers Insurance, we've seen almost everything, so we know how to cover almost anything, even a rock and wreck. Yeah! He rocked and rolled right into it, but we covered it. At Farmers, we know a thing or two because we've seen a thing or two.
We are farmers. Bum, 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 bum.
When tragedy strikes, you don't want to be in a position where you're second-guessing your lawyer's ability or the resolve to get you fairly compensated. When you hire Goddard & Young, you know you're hiring a law firm that has nationally ranked settlements and verdicts. We have over 2 decades of experience holding 18-wheeler companies accountable for their negligent action. Don't make the mistake of hiring anybody else. Hire the best. Hire Goddard & Young.
Extra, extra! Read all about tonight's game in Thursday's Gilmer Mirror, complete with pictures, coaches' comments, and a look at next week's opponent. The Gilmer Mirror has been serving the citizens of Upshur County since 1877. You know, reading the news online is fine, but there is nothing like physically picking up your hometown paper, turning the pages, and catching up on everything going on in our area. If you're not subscribing to the Gilmer Mirror, you're probably missing out. It's one of my favorite publications, and I know you'll love it too. The Gilmer Mirror, www.gilmermirror.com.
Looking for future leaders we can trust and believe in? Look no further than the high school student athletes right here in Texas. High school sports teach young people how to be effective leaders. It begins by making their grades and being on time for practice. It includes learning to listen, following directions, accepting responsibility, being a good role model. And it's about respect for officials, opponents, the rules, and each other. The result? It transcends sports. It gives us hope for the future. High school sports. There's so much more than just a game. This message presented by the Texas University Interscholastic League and the Texas High School Athletic Directors Association.
Because of investments in our surrounding infrastructure, eTex offers advanced improvements in internet connections, service experience, and quality of life for our customers. The driving force for eTex has been to create a state-of-the-art company using both the latest technology and local expert technicians, people you know. And best of all, a certified support team that delivers quality support within hours, not days. eTex, local support from the team you trust.
Growing up as a child in East Texas, I was always taught that I had to outwork my opponent. That same principle has carried over into our law firm. And for over 20 years, we've outworked each and every insurance company, lawyer, or corporation we've gone against. If you look at our results, they prove it. Put us to work for you, and we promise to never stray from the same East Texas work ethic that you were raised on.
For 120 years, First National Bank of East Texas has been earning the trust of our customers and our East Texas communities through ever-changing times with the commitment, dedication, and financial strength of our network of branches across East Texas, fulfilling dreams big and small, and earning your trust every day. Let our friendly, expert staff serve you and your family's financial needs. First National Bank of East Texas. Together, we're better.
Winningham Chevrolet is proud to support the Gilmer Buckeyes. Don't miss out on the 15% savings on the 2020 Blazer, Equinox, and Trax. And remember, our service department is now open Saturday 8 to 12. Stop by and see Jay, Roger, and Lindsay at Winningham Chevrolet. The Med Shop Pharmacy in Gilmer's features a drive-through pharmacy for all your prescription and over-the-counter drug needs. Place refills using our free phone app RX2Go or use our convenient auto refill line 24/7 at 903-680-2626. Stop by and see our unique gift items for all occasions or visit us on the web at gilmermedshop.com. And don't forget, the Med Shop is your flu shot and vaccine headquarters for the fall and winter season. The Med Shop Pharmacy, your friendly hometown pharmacy.
All right, welcome to our halftime show as the Gilmer Buckeyes are just putting on a clinic here. 54-7 is their lead. And folks, we've got some single season records that are falling and in jeopardy as these young Gilmer Buckeyes start moving up the chain and the list of the all-time greats. Let's start at the top of the list here as we go through this. And once again, we'll let our guru statistician, Mr. Joe Dodd, correct us as we go here. Normally we've got the guru Mark Skinner with us and the computer, but these are hand-calculated stats. But I think we got a couple of these, Jeff, that we can say are pretty safe. Total offensive yards, Brandon Tennyson came into tonight's game with 3,035. He has easily passed Zach Spears at 3,119 from the 2015 season and likely is approaching the 3,344 yards of his mentor and coach, Darian Stump Godfrey, through 15 games in 2007 had 3,344 yards. So that's total offensive yards. Passing yards. BT definitely has passed in this first half Luke Turner, who went to star at Rice University, at 2,449 yards coming into the game. He easily had that. He was 13 for 13. He was 100% in that first half with 5 touchdowns to 3 different receivers. And he is now past Luke Turner to get into the 2,600 and some odd mark. He needs 27-27 once again to catch Darian Godfrey in that 15-game 2007 season at 27-27. He'll have to get all the way to 5,013 yards to get Aaron Poppy Brown in 2016. Not sure that's going to happen this year because the Buckeyes have too much balance. And that's why you see Darian Godfrey there parked at just under 3,000 yards. But, of course, Stump is in the record books on multiple occasions. You got to get all the way up to the state championship game or season in 2009 when Darian had 3,581 yards, Stump in 15 games. There are only 3 Gilmer Buckeyes that have more passing yards than that in a single season. We also look at Brandon Tennyson in terms of passing touchdowns. He has now passed Poppy Brown for let's call that 4th place on the Buckeye passing list. He's now up to 31, just 1 behind Zach Spears, before he once again will be approaching the Stump Godfrey territory in 2007 and 2008 of 38 touchdowns. We go to now Dylan Fluellen as total offensive yards now. Let's stop for a second. Mason Hurt on the verge of passing Chris Boyd of the Minnesota Vikings with 4,887 total offensive yards in his career. Mason, with 2 big touchdown plays in the first half, is close to that record. And Brandon Tennyson once again behind him, overtaking easily both McLean Carter and likely Jamel Kennedy tonight. I feel like I'm announcing an election here with all the stats. And now BT will be behind Justin Johnson with 4,426 offensive yards. Mason in terms of, BT in terms of passing yards is likely within one game because he didn't get quite there to passing G.J. Kinney for total passing yards in a season. That's G.J. Kinney, the conference player of the year in the American Athletic Conference for the University of Tulsa Golden Hurricane, and later Philadelphia Eagle G.J. Kinney, now offensive coordinator at the University of Hawaii. So G.J. is probably going to take a step down on that ladder behind BT likely next week. Now let's talk about Dylan. Dylan definitely has passed Chase Tate, gone over the 2,000-yard mark for receiving yards in a single season. He only has LaMarcus Morton at 2108 and Curtis Brown, the All-American at Texas, and Pittsburgh Steeler and New York Jet. Dylan Fluellen will likely hold the single-season receiving yard record here within the next 2 weeks. Receptions. He has just passed Curtis Brown with now 121 receptions. He's got to go get Red Jones, and that's Red Jones Jr., at 128, which he will likely reach. Going to be a tall order to get the 161 receptions for Chase Tate. That's a ridiculous number. He will likely wind up number 2 on that list, which is not half bad. Now, passing touchdowns. Brandon Tennyson on the verge now of catching Zach Spears with 35. He will definitely do that next week. Probably also pass his teammate Mason Hurt for passing touchdowns of 37. He's going to need another year to go get Stump Godfrey at 116. So receiving touchdowns, once again, Dylan Fluellen. He is now with the 3 touchdowns in this game. He's passed Lamar Harris with 22. He's passed LaMarcus Morton with 23. And he is 1 touchdown shy of catching the great Curtis Brown at 25 receiving touchdowns in a season. And he is likely to get that next week. Just a ridiculous amount of offense here as the clinic that was put on by these Gilmer Buckeyes offensively and defensively. Jeff, just think about this. They had 2 pick sixes that actually robbed the Buckeyes of offensive possessions. As the half goes on, we will get some total tallied statistics from that first half from Joe Dodd.
I've got a few right here, actually. We were, so far, one impressive stat tonight is Brandon Tennyson's 13 for 13, 100% passing tonight. Total passing yards, 351 yards and 5 touchdowns. We had 10 rushes for 42 yards in the first half. Just didn't run the ball a lot, didn't have to, and 1 TD. And then we had a total offense of 23 plays and 393 yards, which would set us up to actually, if we did that again in the second half, which we probably won't because they'll probably run the clock, and we're going to have a lot of second, third string JV, guys that came up. But if we kept that pace up, we would definitely break the school record that we set
in Atlanta.
And be close to 800 yards total offense. And then, of course, we told you that our time of possession would be almost nothing. So we put up 54 points, and Todd, listen to this, only had the ball 6 minutes and 45 seconds. So the other team had the ball 17 minutes and 15 seconds, and we had it 6:45.
Jeff, listen to this. This is some quick statistics here from your Baylor grad. 6 minutes and 45 seconds of possession time and 54 points. We put a point on the board every 7.5 seconds we had the ball.
Yes, I like that.
That is a wow moment.
Yeah, I like the way you say it.
Folks, a point up literally less than every 10 seconds that the Buckeyes touch the ball. And it has been impressive here as these Buckeyes are going to receive to start the second half. And I don't know, Jeff, when you start talking about the running back firepower that this Gilmer Buckeye team possesses, and you remember in Atlanta, it was Ward that had almost 140 yards rushing in the second half or in the fourth quarter all by himself. That's what really kept things rolling. And, if you turn around and hand it off and our guys, start a track meet here, you may see that Atlanta record after 354 yards total offense and 5 touchdowns in the first half. That may be in danger here tonight, Jeff. So it's good to be a Gilmer Buckeye right now, folks, and it's for Canton Eagles, some guys looking forward to the basketball season. Let's hope that everybody stays healthy in the second half as we get the kickoff and kick it over to the voice of the Buckeyes, Jeff Rash.
All right, here's the kickoff. Going to be fielded on the 27-yard line by number 4, Cody Guidry, and he'll get about a 5-yard return back to the 37-yard line. Fielded at the 32 to the 37. And so, Todd, I said earlier that the Buckeyes, averaging this year about 7.5 yards per carry on the season. In this particular game, they're averaging over 15 yards, so they're doubling their average in this game. So,
Parker
new quarterback. Yeah, new quarterback. Parker Gillow doing quarterback duties, and he's going to hand off to number 32, Ward. And he's not going to have a lot there, maybe a couple of yards on that carry. We're going to bring up 2nd and 8.
He'll get 2, and the clock will run. And you can see Coach Metzel, as you said, Jeff, already saying, hey, let's point things towards next week. And, Jeff, Joe Dodd was telling us that Dallas County, basically with the COVID outbreak, has now canceled football for the next 2 weeks. So we will see how things progress. At the moment, we are scheduled for a Thursday game next week, most likely in Mesquite at Hamby Stadium, but stay tuned as elements beyond our control will have an effect.
Handoff, number 25, around the left side, and just doing a great job getting around the corner. You talk about some wheels, and I'm not sure who that is. That's number 25. I don't have it. Yeah, I do, too. Yeah. Let me flip it over here. Number 25 is Chase Waller, a senior, and he's in at running back right now, and old Chase has got some legs.
Yeah, it's an embarrassment of riches at running back. As you basically have 10 Gilmer Buckeyes with Choice and everybody else. That's going to be a hold and bring the Buckeyes back. And pretty much every time that they have probably an explosive play or move the chains, look for laundry on the field. As obviously, Jeff, you could call a penalty probably on any play in high school football, but when you're looking for it, it may be throwing a flag for just being a really good football team, and we're gonna bring whatever score back. For Parker Gillow, some valuable time in at quarterback. He's a senior, and he certainly earned it. Played a lot of snaps at quarterback coming up through this system. Very capable, but he would basically be the third-string guy as they hand this one to Ward around the right end. And Jeff, as you said, just not much there. These Canton Eagles have done a great job as they string things out very well. Brings up 3rd down, and maybe a passing down here. Maybe look for a screen pass here from Coach Metzel. Also, you see some valuable playing time. Big number 54 for the Gilmer Buckeyes, who plays a lot of defense. That's Braylon Ward. Young sophomore is in at right tackle, building some depth on the offensive line for the Buckeyes as well.
Parker's just a junior.
All right.
Oh, Parker's a junior. That's right.
Yeah, Parker Gillow fakes the handoff, pulling up the pass. Going to have to hold on to it and run, and he going to lose a yard on the carry. And that is going to bring up 4th down, and the punt team for Gilmer will come on for the first time tonight.
For the first time. And we will see number 20, Hernandez punting, not Guidry, which would be normal with that rugby-style punt. And Hernandez will also build some depth here. 9:28 and counting in the 3rd quarter. The Buckeye offense, behind a couple of penalties, come out, and the Canton Eagles managed to get off the field. And the Buckeyes will punt and play some more defense here.
All right, here's the snap. It is a good one. And here's a good punt by number 20. First time this year I've seen him punt the ball, and boy, did it take a Buckeye bounce.
Oh, my gracious.
All the way down to the 18-yard line.
Great punt by Hernandez.
What a nice punt. I didn't know if he could punt or not. I'm like, what's...
Well, I tell you, if it had been Cody Guidry would have run and still been running, because there was nobody out here once he cleared the defensive end.
That's probably why they put Hernandez back there, because they know Guidry's got a reputation for that.
Unauthorized fake
punts. Sorry, Coach. We saw him do that a few games ago.
Pittsburgh, that's a 51-yard punt by Hernandez. Punt. Great job inside the 20-yard line, where Canton will set up 1st and 10 from their own 17.
All right, handoff up the middle, and he is stuck quickly.
Let's get a number on that.
Front line. Who was that?
That is number 50 for the Gilmer Buckeyes, making a great tackle. That's Taylor Neely, the junior inside or outside linebacker.
It was that him.
That's a strong tackle by Mr. Neely there to stop that one for just a 1-yard gain. And mercifully, Jeff, the clock will run, and we will have a fast second half here, hopefully. Canton coming off of a 3-6 season, finished 4th in their district, and will bow out of the playoffs here tonight in the first round.
Here's the snap. Buckeyes coming hard. He's on the run and throws it away. And takes a hit.
Yeah, that won't be grounding simply because he was outside the tackle box. Gets rid of that one, which is a good thing. And stops the clock with 7:55. So with 3rd down and now long, obvious passing situation. Guidry and Fluellen both in at safeties, along with number 2, Jaden Griffin, and number 24, Kiki Johnson out on that wide corner. This may be a passing down, but you don't want to throw an errant pass because the Buckeyes have shown twice tonight already they can take defense and turn it into instant offense. 2 pick sixes on the night already for this black flag.
All right, Buckeyes defensive line, they are coming hard, and they're going to force him to get rid of it again as he has to just throw it away, and that is going to bring up 4th down. So here comes the punter for the Eagles.
Yeah, Jeff, I'm sitting here trying to calculate. Maybe the guru Mark Skinner at home can do this calculation. When you are 13 for 13 for 351 yards and 5 touchdowns, and you've got 3 rushes for maybe
what's your quarterback 35.
Rating? I don't think your quarterback rating can get any higher than that. That may be a perfect quarterback rating for a first half.
All right, here's the punt. It is a good one. Going to hit the ground, and Rowan is wisely going to let that one just settle on its own, and that's going to be Buckeye offense. 1st and 10 from their own 40-yard line. So good field position as the offense comes back out, led by number 19, Parker Gillow.
And here's some great opportunity to build some depth on the offensive line, Jeff, as we bring in big number 44, Matt Burton, at the fullback position, or we call that the F-back position. Obviously a running set for the Buckeyes. Number 21, Kiki Johnson, in at running back.
All right, here's the snap. They're going to hand it off to Kiki up the middle, and he lowers his head, fights for about 3 yards. That'll bring up 3rd and 7. Kiki's got a lot of speed. You know, again, another guy that you don't see at running back really that often.
Wait, Jeff, I'm sorry, I messed that up. That's number 31, Michael Colbert. That is a sophomore running back, another sophomore running back in for the Buckeyes. And like I say, it's just building depth. There's got to be 10 guys. Remember, Kendall Jackson is still hurt right now.
They've got 4 pretty good running backs there in that sophomore class between Colbert, Haynes, Braden Rash, and Kendall Jackson. And so he's going to pick up another few yards on the carry. And that is going to bring up 3rd and 7.
No gain on that one. And clock keeps running, which is great. Get some snaps here for these young Buckeyes. Number 30 also in the game at wideout. That's Josh Clark, the junior wide receiver. And up on top, let's see if I can get the number up there. Wide receiver. That may be Landon Watson. I'm not sure. Is that 22 up there on top, Jeff? That may be Chase Waller that's up top.
Yeah, I think it is. 2-back set. They hand it off. Colbert slips as he's going up.
That
was Kiki Johnson there.
Yeah.
That was Kiki. They're confusing us. They got 21 and 31 up there. Kiki just kind of, that was supposed to come over here to the right. He thought he saw a hole in there, so he cuts it up field and just trips.
He had his feet go out from under him, and on to punt. Once again, is number 20, as the Buckeyes very content to run clock on the ground, really kind of ignoring the down and distance and just going for running plays and running clock, more importantly. Nothing left to gain here except execution and experience by some backup guys, as the first half for the Buckeyes was just dominant. Rugby-style kick once again is Hernandez.
Another one, just huge bounce.
Yeah, beautiful.
I mean, look at this. Down inside the 10, to the 8-yard line. What a great – where has he been all year?
Yeah, I tell you where he's not, and that's executing fake punts that are unauthorized. That's what he's not doing. But he's got that rugby-style kick down.
That was great. Nice wobbly kick down the middle.
Never got really below. Look like my driver, Jeff. It kind of wobbled around about 20 feet off the ground and bounced and went a long way. But
49-yard punt, so he has 100 yards and 2 punts.
Yeah, he's got 100. First punt was 51. This one was 49, all the way inside the 10-yard line. And Hernandez with the magic leg on all fronts, kicking, place kicking, and punting for the Buckeyes.
All right, handoff up the middle, 41. He's going to have nothing.
Oh, my gracious.
He's number 50. Once again.
That's Taylor Neely.
Yeah, he's having a –
yeah, that's –
this guy's
he's a beast.
He is a beast.
Yeah, he literally –
He doesn't just tackle you, man. He humiliates you in the process.
He picked 41 up off the ground, spun him around, and suplexed him down about the 5, but not before he picked up a half a yard.
He just looks like a linebacker, too.
Yeah, he's
down there playing –
he's a big kid. He's playing big boy football.
All right, here we go. 2nd and 9. Quarterback looks like he wants to keep it. He does. And he takes a shot, but he picks up about 3, 4, or 5 yards on the carry.
There's Landon Jackson in on the tackle, coming up from his corner position. And holding him. Landon Watson, sorry. Landon Jackson, that's a different dude that is got a future with the LSU Tigers in Pleasant Grove. He used to be a Buckeye. 3rd down and 1 now for Canton Eagles. Let's see if the black flag can get some penetration here, as this is likely going to be a run and play. Quarterback keeper. And falling forward, he's going to get it.
He's going to get that one. And so that'll be a first down for Canton. Keep the clock running. Obviously, the third quarter going much faster than it did in the first half of play. 3:13 left to play in the third quarter. You're going to see more of the same, obviously, in the fourth quarter, but we're getting everybody on the field, lots of snaps. I don't think I see a starter on the field.
No, hoorah, and let the band break in quickly, and let's keep things rolling. Under 3 minutes now. No change on the scoreboard except for the clock running, which is a good thing. And for Buckeye fans, we start to look at another trophy, at a by-district title. District title, by-district title, is we're going to have another sack, and that is Ward. No, that's Arona. Number 33.
No, you had it right, I think.
No, that's Arona.
Is that Arona?
Yeah, that's number 33,
yeah,
the young sophomore.
From the backside.
He's just got a gift in blitzing. He closes so quickly and just closing speed. Brings up 2nd down and 15. And, man, it's so great to see these young guys play so well, Jeff. And all these sophomores and juniors out here on the field just makes you feel good about things to come. And this is such a great opportunity in playoff time. Despite the scoreboard, this is playoff competition. And the more snaps that these guys get, the stronger the Buckeyes are going to be in the future.
All right, quarterback in the shotgun. He's looking at 2nd and 15. Handoff up the middle to number 41, and he's going to gain about 3.
It's going to bring up money down. 3rd down and about 12. So we go under 2 minutes to play here in the third quarter. Once again, your score 54-7. Your Buckeyes lead. And we've got a man down. And we will take a quick break, Jeff, and come back right after these messages and check on that Buckeye. That's a Rona. Crap.
Please join Jeff Rash and Alan Metzel each Monday morning for the Gilmer Buckeyes Coaches Show. Every week, Jeff and Alan discuss elements of the program, speak with special guests, give player updates, review key plays from the prior week, and give insights on the opponent for the current week. As a fan, this is your chance to go into the locker room and behind the scenes. To view the Coaches Show, go to GilmerBuckeyes.com and click on the Coaches Show button. Go Buckeyes!
And the Buckeyes with a big 3rd down and 12 now against Canton. 1 minute and 25 seconds left to play in the third quarter. Arona was okay on that play. Hopped up and got off the field under his own power, which was great to see.
Quarterback drops back, fires one across the middle, got number 14, and he's going to be good for about 10 yards, but that'll be shy of about 3 yards for the first down and bring up 4th and 3.
Let's see what Canton does here, Jeff. I think they're going to punt the football and be respectful of the fact that Coach Metzel is punting the football and running clock, and just very gentlemanly here on both sides of the ball. These Canton Eagles have played a tough season and a long season and made the playoffs and got the unfortunate draw of these Gilmer Buckeyes. We want to say thanks to all the Buckeye fans, the Army of Buckeyes out there listening all over the world tonight. Joe Dodd's nephew in Utah. And listen to us every game. Although he's not a Buckeye, he is an adopted member of the Army. Logan Dodd. Hello, Logan. Thanks for your support. Colonel Neil Metzel over in Japan. He's probably checking on this score and getting some sleep here on his Saturday morning.
Miss Sharp out in California listens every single Friday night.
We appreciate her
all
so
the
much.
way out in California.
Yes.
Her and her husband listening tonight.
We appreciate them. They are such loyal Buckeye fans, and a lot to be excited about for the Buckeye Army all over the world, all over the U.S., all over Texas, and a whole lot of them in Tatertown listening tonight. Maybe not so much anymore, Jeff, but we got to have the Army travel, folks, so get ready. It's trophy time back in Gilmer. So as we start playing at larger stadiums, these opportunities for us to have larger and larger crowds are greater because it's a greater stadium and our restrictions are more limited. I don't think we quite filled up half of our allotment, Jeff, here tonight, but that's going to be the end of the third quarter. Buckeyes will have the ball 1st and 10 inside the 50-yard line as we come back right after these messages.
Don't miss the 4A UIL Football State Championships this December. For more information, visit uiltexas.org.
Two-time Hall of Fame inductees, Brent Godarzi and Marty Young. Back-to-back #1 trucking firm in the nation. Back-to-back best attorney and best law firm in East Texas.
All right, we're back here starting the fourth quarter. It's 54-7 as we had a fast third quarter there. I want to give a shout out to Trish Conitz and family on behalf of your husband, our cameraman, Mr. Eric Conitz. 38, Haynes off to the races to the right side. He's hard to bring down. He gets 10 yards and a first down there. Nice carry by Ashland Haynes.
Young sophomore, and great to see in at quarterback. Getting some valuable experience and playing time. That's number 36 for the Buckeyes, who is our JV quarterback, but not on the, excuse me, I'm sorry, that's number 46. That's Keegan Sprouse.
Yeah, 48 is actually Chris Gillian.
48, he's Chris Gillian. He's the JV
quarterback. Yeah, and so you got your JV quarterback handing off to a JV running back. Round the left side, and breaks one tackle. We've got a flag on the play. Nice run there again by Haynes.
That's going to be another hold against the Buckeyes. And that is a great run by Haynes there as he gets flipped up, manages to keep his feet, Jeff, and does one of these acrobatic pirouettes and stays on his feet. But nonetheless, that's going to back up the Buckeyes. Once again, as any positive play is going to be backed up. And just some valuable opportunity here for these young Buckeyes to get some playoff experience, take some snaps. And Jeff, I get asked all the time, hey, boy, you guys in Gilmer, you have it rolling. Well, there's a reason. 5 straight years, Jeff, now the Buckeyes have gone 4 rounds deep in the playoffs. That's 4 extra week of practice that you get against quality teams every single week. Is now number 25 is going to carry this one. Oh, my goodness, look at that run.
I mean, I'm not sure why he hadn't been carrying the ball all year. This guy is so fast. Chase Waller, you've seen him run the ball earlier when we were headed the other direction in the third quarter. I mean, this guy can run the football.
Yeah. He makes that first down and 25, cuts it in half. Second down and 12 now for the Buckeyes as Chase just has got some afterburners there. I think in Gilmer, if your first name is Chase, then you got to be fast, and he's living up to that billing.
It's a requirement.
Yeah. And, he checks the boxes.
All right, Chris Guillen hands off to Haynes around the right side, and he finds a little bit of a hole, picks up about 7 yards on the carry. Going to bring up 3rd and 5, maybe 6.
Jeff, if you're the Canton coaching staff, you're looking at the roster going, where do they get all these guys? Where are these guys coming from? As young and talented are these Buckeyes. This sophomore class, Jeff, as you mentioned, and your son in that class, just all kinds of talent in that class, and we're going to need it coming next year. As we'll have once again our 2nd straight year the Pleasant Grove Hawks, who also have a lot of talented young guys that are coming, and they'll change the numbers and change some of the names, but the scenery won't change. It'll be the Buckeyes and the Hawks battling it out for at least another 18 months or so.
Yeah, they're going to shut Haynes down there for no gain. In fact, he'll lose a couple. That's going to bring up 4th and 9.
And at the 36-yard line, you don't think Coach Metzel will punt it here. We'll probably run it again as Mr. Haynes will get an opportunity to see if he can pick up a first down. We are now under 9 minutes to play in this game, folks. This one's been over basically kind of since the coin toss, 54-7. Your Gilmer Buckeyes have just dominated the first half, and then just a lot of younger players getting an opportunity here in the second half. And a 4th down and 9, and a valuable chance here to see if these Buckeyes, the young Buckeyes, can convert.
All right, here's the snap. They hand off up the middle, and he's got nothing there. So he gets back maybe to the line of scrimmage, and that'll be turnover on downs for Canton.
Not a bad thing for the Buckeyes as you run about a minute of clock off this game, and the defense returns. Not bad field position for Canton. 1st and 10 at their 36, and this will likely be the beginning of the end of this game, Jeff, and the Buckeyes will be awarded a by-district championship 2 weeks in a row, 2 trophies, and looking to go into next week. And Jeff, this is all about survive and advance, and the Buckeyes more than survive here tonight.
All right, Canton comes back out. Offensive possession, 1st and 10 from the 36. Quarterback rolls to his right. In some trouble, has to dump it off to a short pass to number 41, and he picks up another first down. He's just been kind of the bright light for Canton tonight. That young man's just talented.
Really is, Jeff.
Running back.
And I think as I look at the roster, he is a senior. So this will be his last high school game. And he's had a good one. Unfortunately, he ran up against a great Gilmer Buckeye team tonight.
They fake the handoff to 41. Quarterback rolling to his left side. Fires the ball down the field. Caught over the middle. Big yardage. That's a 20-yard gain. And another first down for Canton.
Rolling and firing is most of the stuff you saw on film was trying to get number 2, their quarterback, who's a good athlete in his own right, out into space. But so far tonight, Jeff, he's just been running for his life and has not been able to find open receivers. He's found a couple of Buckeyes who've basically taken it back and parked it in his own end zone on a couple of occasions, but he completes that one down inside Buckeye territory, 1st and 10 from the Buckeye 28.
Handoff once again, 48, and he's got open room to the left side. He's headed to the end zone, and he's going to get knocked out of bounds just shy of a touchdown. I think he knocked him out on the 3-yard line, so Canton knocking on the door once again to score.
3 straight first downs for Canton, Jeff. Now 1st and goal from the Buckeye 2.
All right, Canton lining up, knocking on the door. 1st and goal from the 2. Quarterback in the shotgun. Number 41 goes in motion. They're going to throw the ball, and he drops it.
Unbelievable.
Potential touchdown there for number 11.
Dropped right at the goal line. Bring up 2nd down and goal now with just under 6 minutes to play in this ball game. The young Black Flag defense trying to make a stand here. As soon as they motion number 51 or 41 out of the backfield, it's pretty much guaranteed to be a pass. I think they'll hand it to him on this one, Jeff. Fumbled snap.
Well, they fumble it. Quarterback's running for his life over the left side, looking to throw. Got a man open. Good job there by Canton. Keeping his composure, finding number 41 in the end zone for the score.
Canton will make this respectable, kind of. Adding a touchdown and giving the band
respectable, kind of
respectable.
I think that sounded passive aggressive on your part.
Well, they got to double digits, Jeff.
I'm just saying, man.
That's kind of respectable. That's all I'm saying.
I mean, if you just said making it respectable, and then just kind of stopped right there,
left it there.
It'd been all right. Well, you throw that kind in there.
You know, let's put it this way: the Buckeyes were favored by I think 30 points, and they've got it to within. They're 30 points right now.
Yeah.
So somebody knew what they were talking about.
That's right. There you go. Well, we're going to take a quick commercial break. We'll be right back.
Crowley Funeral Home has been serving families in Gilmer since 1883. Funeral director and Gilmer High School graduate Troy Murray leads the professional staff at Crowley Funeral Home and is committed to providing dignified, respectful, and compassionate assistance to every family in their time of need. Crowley Funeral Home feels strongly about maintaining high standards of excellent service while still keeping prices affordable. At Crowley Funeral Home, we treat your family as our own.
All right, we're back here with 5:42 left to play. I didn't say back to the action. I said we're back here with 5:42 left in the game. Guests, that's us, 54, Eagles 14.
Yeah, we're the whole lot as compared to the not much side. And Canton on to kick. Let's see what they do here. This may be a pooch kick. Aimed at number 16, Colton Griffin. It's going to be a little bit deeper, and Cody Guidry's going to have a chance to return this one. Look out. He's got a room.
Yeah, he's got a lane down the left side. He returns it back to about the 39-yard line. So we will have Chris Guillen come out one more time. 5:37 left in the game. This may be the last offensive possession that we see tonight.
That'd be great. And lots of young guys once again playing for the Buckeyes, led by number 48, Chris Guillen, the young sophomore and JV quarterback. Number 31 in the backfield with him. Also JV running back, that's Michael Colbert. Also very talented as the embarrassment of riches at the skill positions for the Buckeyes. But I tell you what a first half for Brandon Tennyson. 13 of 13, 351 yards, 5 touchdowns, and probably another 25 plus yards on a couple of carries. Let's see if that's a late hit. Not going to come out.
They're not going to bother with it. Colbert back to the line of scrimmage, 2nd and 10.
Coach Metzel, Coach Lipsy, and these Gilmer Buckeyes content to just keep the ball on the ground and keep the clock moving. And got to be happy as Buckeye fans that we're going to be playing another week and getting better, as Joe Dodd said. I mean, I don't know how much better you can get other than 13 for 351 yards and 5 touchdowns. Brandon Tennyson, Mason Hurt, and Dylan Fluellen and Ro Fluellen, and you know, it's everybody's had a great first half. Because we have a fumble on the play. And Canton's got the ball, picks it up.
And headed to the house. They're going to score on a fumble.
They're going to score a touchdown as a pirouette into the end zone makes it.
And a flag.
Kind of respectable.
Well, that's pretty bad to pirouette when you're down by 40 points.
Yeah,
I don't know. That's a big lineman that's probably never had a chance to score. If I don't blame him, he should have done a backflip.
I think he probably would have.
They shouldn't even flag him for that. That was If a lineman scores a touchdown, he should get to do that.
You can do whatever, moonwalk, do whatever you want to do.
Absolutely.
Give it your best shot. It's a once in a lifetime thing. That's number 34 for the Canton Eagles. That is, I think, the linebacker. That's Cale Shaw, his senior year as well. Hey, you know, got a highlight out of it. Extra point is up, and it is good. And now it's 54-21 with 4:13 left to play in the game. And we will recognize a few more of our great sponsors and be right back after this.
This is what matters. This is beyond X's and O's. This is the difference mutual respect makes. This is what character looks like. This is what defines us in Texas. This is sportsmanship. School sports. It's not the outcome that matters most, but the way the games are played. This message presented by the Texas University Interscholastic League and the Texas High School Athletic Directors Association.
Gilmer National.
Well, so did they not call them for it? Are they going to mark it off?
So after a fumble return for a touchdown, the Canton Eagles are going to kick off. It does not look like they have marked off the unsportsmanlike penalty. It was never called. The flag was thrown. Evidently, it was picked up.
I don't think it's a flag because it's still on. What I was looking at is still laying on the ground by the referee back there. It looked like a flag, but they let him get away with it. They should have. Let that guy have some fun.
Well, let's see if they kick it to Cody Guidry because he may have some fun too. I don't know that I would kick it to number 4. He was a step away from breaking the last one on the pooch kick. But only 4:13 left to play here for the Buckeyes to run out the clock, and they are going to kick it to Cody Guidry. Going to take this in his own 18-yard line.
Yeah, he's going to take it on the 18. Comes back down the same sideline, gets out to the 37. 4:05 left to play. Here comes Ginn.
54-21, Jeff, and it looks like the prognosticators knew what they were prognosticating and got this one pretty close so far. But this second half really has just been running clock because these Gilmer Buckeyes just have dominated the first half, as dominant as you could possibly be, and packed the starters away on ice over there to prepare for next Thursday night.
Colbert up the middle, 10, 12 yards. Good run there by Colbert. Keep the clock moving, move the chains.
It just makes me excited for Buckeye football in the future, Jeff, as obviously we know that, that the quarterback position, which is the most important on the field, is going to say Tennyson on it for basically the next 4 years and whatever is left in this season. As Caden Tennyson is the 8th grader coming up, and if you've watched the 8th grade team play, they got 6 guys down there to be on the varsity their freshman year. The last time that happened was the Chase Tate and Chris Boyd class that had 3 guys play on the varsity. I think we may have as many as 6. And lots of young talent here in this Buckeye program. And Jeff, this is why. I mean, you get an opportunity to practice every week longer. You get, opportunities when you're really good to get quality varsity game experience against quality playoff teams. And, by the time you get to your senior year, you've had literally a full 16-week season extra because, your program's so good. For 5 straight years, as we mentioned, these Gilmer Buckeyes have played 4 rounds deep in the playoffs. May go further than that this year, defending district champions going into next year. Finally beat Pleasant Grove, maybe face them again, and then you got Carthage. There are no surprises left for these Buckeyes.
Handoff once again to Colbert. He's not going to get anything. In fact, he'll lose a couple on that one.
Under 2 minutes now left, Jeff. Move the chains one time, and we can look at victory formation. Otherwise, look for Coach Metzel to punt. And 3rd down and 12, I think no matter what, we'll keep this one on the ground here.
Yeah, Braden Rash in at running back now.
Yep.
Let him take a little punishment.
That's good to see. And let's see what Braden is going to do here because I think he's going to get it. Here it is.
Around the right side, cuts up field. Looks
at
like
Braden.
He's got a first down plus about 5.
49 picks up 13 yards, makes Daddy proud, moves the chains, and that's going to ice it for the Buckeyes as Braden Rash in his first varsity carry picks up 13 quick yards, looks good in the process. And,
yeah, that was funny because we put the camera on him his first play, and he goes down and makes the tackle.
Hey, let's just keep calling him out.
Yeah, no, don't because he'll.
Victory formation.
They're going to go to victory formation. They're going to take a knee here. They don't even want to take a chance of him putting one in.
A 15-yard run.
And that's going to be the ball game. One more snap, and we
can tell Braden his varsity average so far is
15 yards
a carry.
There you go.
Good stuff.
Dominant performance here, Jeff, as these Gilmer Buckeyes just have had 2 fantastic weeks. And as Coach Metzel told them, hey, it's all in preparing at a very high level. They did it this week, and boy, did it show up as that's the last snap of the game. Buckeyes deliver 2 weeks in a row in trophy time. We'll add another eagle to the black flag, the list of vanquished foes there for the Buckeyes as they're running out of room on that black flag, waving across the way. 54-21, your final score. We want to thank all of our sponsors. We want to thank all the Army of Buckeyes at home listening to us. We'll have a couple of more weeks to figure out the NFHS broadcast, and we want to thank E-Tex for all their support. Jeff, we'll sign off here tonight saying Buckeyes win by district champions. Area game next week. Look onto GilmerBuckeyes.com for the announcements going in. But we think right now we'll play Thursday night, Mesquite Hamby Stadium against Godley. And we will clarify that as the weekend continues. But for now, for myself, Todd Robinson, the voice of the Buckeyes, Jeff Rash, Buckeyes win 54-21. We'll see you next week, and go Buckeyes.